On the school bus, 13 middle school students were injured, one in critical condition. This is Fox News.
Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from King's Restaurants. Give a gift they are sure to love. Delicious food and friendly fun at King's. Get a coupon for a free single crepe with every $20 gift card purchase. Extra holiday happiness from King's Restaurants. Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from Chuck E. Cheese's Guam, Ruby Tuesday, and King's Restaurants. Receive special offers with every purchase for extra holiday happiness. See stores for details and have fun this season from all of us at the GFS Group.
It's important to have claims process that works for you. At Guahan Insurance Services, we make things simple and convenient. Same door you walk in to purchase your insurance is the same door you open to file your claim. We can't pretend that the car insurance claims process is fun, but we can promise a hassle-free and speedy recovery without any runarounds. For your home, auto, and business insurance, visit us at the Camacho Landmark Center on Marine Corps Drive in Tamuning. Don't forget to like us on Facebook or give us a call at 475-1162 or text 929-SAVE. That's 929-7283.
British Prime Minister Theresa May trying to get her plan for the UK divorce from the EU back on track.
But I can confirm today that we intend to return to the meaningful vote debate in the week commencing 7th of January and hold the vote the following week.
This after recently postponing a vote in Parliament and then surviving a no-confidence vote. Opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn.
This last week has embodied the failure, chaos and indecision at the heart of this government's shambolic handling of Brexit.
Still insisting a better exit deal with the European Union is possible. Corbyn also calling for another no-confidence vote on May as an individual this time, not on the government, which means it would not force an early election if she loses. The French president still trying to restore calm after a month of protests over his proposals.
The movement began against proposed hikes in gas taxes, the government said, to combat global warming. It then changed into a broader protest in Paris and other cities against the government. We saw clashes again here on Saturday, but there was less violence than we saw the week before. One reason for the decrease in unrest, concessions made by French President Macron.
Fox's Greg Palcott in Paris. A boy bullied over his name is getting support from a group that helps stand up to bullies.
Joshua Trump is a middle school student in Delaware who recently made news after being bullied just because his last name was Trump. Well, over the weekend, he was awarded with the Teach Anti-Bullying Medal of Courage. He was presented with a ceremony at his school by Teach Anti-Bullying. It's a nonprofit group based out of Pennsylvania that aims to stomp out bullying in schools.
Fox's Jim McKay. School officials say they've offered support and mentoring to Joshua Trump, who uses his mother's surname, but he has also faced suggestions to use his father's last name instead, Berto. I'm Lisa Brady, and this is Fox News.
Chili's 3 for Me menu just got bigger. We're giving you more choices for the same great price. For just $15, you can get a beverage, salad, and an entree. First, choose from a refreshing Coca-Cola, iced tea, or Heineken on draft. Then enjoy a house salad and select your choice of a mouth-watering entree, like our half-rack ribs, Cajun chicken pasta, old-timer burger, personal chicken fajitas, or the flavorful margarita flatbread. So hurry in today and enjoy our Chili's 3 for Me menu for just $15. Available for a limited time. Chili's, more life happens here.
Here at APL, our core values give the company its heart and soul. Whether it's connecting your business with our global network through our newly enhanced service or investing our efforts into giving back to the community, APL is committed to serving you. We humbly honor the opportunity to find innovative solutions for you and your business. To learn more about our enhanced service, call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com/Guam for more details. Boldly styled, meticulously refined, the 2019 ES350 features a longer, wider stance and a sleek coupe-like silhouette inherited from the flagship LS. The ES350 offers an ultimate level of comfort, while cutting-edge engineering delivers a thrilling drive. Visit the Lexus showroom today at Atkins Kroll during the December to Remember sales event. Drive home a 2019 ES350 for 0 down and 1.99% APR for 60 months. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details. Experience amazing.
KFC has finally answered the world's most important question. What came first, the chicken or the egg? And the answer is both. Introducing KFC's KFC AM, their new Southern and local inspired breakfast. AM loaded platter with chicken fried rice, waffles, and Colonel's chicken congee. KFC also has your all-time favorites: AM chicken and egg wraps, Southern biscuit and sausage sandwich, and hash browns. So for finger-licking good mornings, AM will never be the same at KFC. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
There's a reason every day a Guam homeowner is getting a solar system installed by Micronesia Renewable Energy. It's because MRE is the most trusted name in solar. With more solar energy solutions than any other solar company on island, homeowners have a choice to go solar for zero money down or take the path to ownership. Whichever way, it keeps our skies blue and your pockets green. And with the most experienced solar technicians and an energy production guarantee, there are no worries. Call 632-2613 for a free consultation. MRE, the smarter choice.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 8 minutes past 6 a.m. this Tuesday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan. Here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. The Department of Corrections and Guam Police are investigating the death of 33-year-old Elton Masasi, who was one of the suspects in the December 8 road rage incident in Upper Tumon. Deputy DOC Director Eric Palacios says that Masasi was found unresponsive in his cell during a head count on Friday morning due to what Palacios described as a self-inflicted injury. Corrections officers immediately administered CPR, and Masasi was taken to Naval Hospital, Guam, where he died on Saturday afternoon. The nature of his injuries was not disclosed. Palacios said an autopsy will determine the cause of death. Masasi and 27-year-old Trevor Todd Rubin were both charged in connection with the attack on Maurice Jones and his wife Elizabeth. Both were charged with aggravated assault and use of a deadly weapon and the commission of a felony, among other allegations. During the incident, Masasi was accused of using a knife, and Rubin was accused of using a slingshot to fire bits of metal rebar at the couple. The Attorney General has ruled that the Guam legislature cannot restrict the governor from promoting GovGuam employees within the executive branch. In her opinion, Attorney General Elizabeth Barrett Anderson concluded that the legislature's prohibition of executive branch promotions in the 2019 budget law violates the separation of powers and is inorganic. The ban against promotions was one of several restrictions in the budget law intended to keep a lid on spending. It was issued at the request of Department of Administration Director Edward Byrne, who sought clarification on the restrictions in the budget law. The latest opinion follows a similar opinion reached in October overturning the budget law's hiring freeze. In addition to prohibiting hiring and promotions, the budget law also restricts salary increments, merit bonuses, and GovGuam-funded travel, all of which are supposed to apply to the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. The AG says an opinion on the permissibility of those other restrictions will be addressed at a later time. We'll have more news after this.
Security Title is honored to join in sponsoring Ray Gibson on The Point. My name is Alicia Blas from Agate, and this is where I start my day, listening to the voices of our community and sharing thoughts about issues that affect all of us. It all boils down to our people and our land. Putehi Igomamu. Protect your home. When purchasing or refinancing your home, remember to call the professionals at Security Title, just like you call Ray Gibson in the morning.
KFC has finally answered the world's most important question. What came first, the chicken or the egg? And the answer is both. Introducing KFC's KFC AM, their new Southern and local inspired breakfast. AM loaded platter with chicken fried rice, waffles, and Colonel's chicken congee. KFC also has your all-time favorites: AM chicken and egg wraps, Southern biscuit and sausage sandwich, and hash browns. So for finger-licking good mornings, AM will never be the same at KFC. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
11 minutes past 6 a.m. here at The Point. When people look back at his 8 years in office, Governor Eddie Calvo hopes they'll say he gave it his all. The governor met with members of the media yesterday to reflect on his 2 terms in office and review what he sees as his successes and some regrets. Paying $300 million in tax refunds at the start of his administration, said the governor, tops the list of accomplishments. Calvo said GovGuam was paying 7 to 8% interest on $300 million in refunds owed for years when he first came into office. The 2 bond issues floated to cover that debt, he said, brought the interest down to below 4%, and his administration has paid all tax refunds owed since. His biggest disappointment, said the governor, was the failure to get a dedicated funding source for Guam Memorial Hospital. And despite declaring a fiscal crisis at the start of this year, the governor also said he believes that now that he's leaving office, Guam is no longer facing a fiscal crisis. He said GovGuam finances are as stable as they've ever been. That's the result of cutting $39 million in spending and passage of tax increases that should generate $78 million in revenue. What originally might have been a shortfall of over $100 million, said the governor, now looks like a $20 million surplus. Guam lawmakers went to the voting file yesterday, rejecting a bill to allow transgender individuals to change their legal sex designation. However, they approved a bill granting a qualifying certificate to Cortec Captive Insurance Corporation, and they narrowly approved a measure correcting a provision in the budget law that will allow the property tax increase to take effect. Senator Fernando Estevez's Bill 291 would have allowed individuals to change their legal sex designation on their birth certificates. It was defeated by a vote of 6-7, with Senators Tom Atta, Frank Uggan Jr., Talina Nelson, Joe San Augustine, James Espaldon, Tommy Morrison, and Mary Torres all voting against it. During debate on the bill, senators expressed concerns over unanswered health and legal questions. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Ray and Mike now with a look at weather.
Mostly cloudy today, Kevin, with isolated showers and thunderstorms. Winds out of the east, 15 to 20 miles an hour. Daytime highs today about 88 degrees and overnight lows of about 78 degrees. The sunset tonight at 5:57. Sunrise this morning at 6:37 as we go into the what is becoming my favorite part of the program, which is where we get to take a look at the weather radar, satellite imagery, and have Mike riff on what he's looking at. Go.
Yeah, you just like it because I talk with my hands. I wanted to be a TV meteorologist, man. That was what I wanted to do.
You're on. Go ahead. You're on the Facebook Live. Hey.
So, well, now I can't see the radar. But no, here it is. I got up this morning. There was no dew on the cars, and the wind's blowing perpendicular to my place. Now, keep in mind, my place faces east-west. So that tells me there are north winds. No dew on the cars. I'm thinking that a dry surge, what they call the dry line, shear line, has come through. And if you look at radar here, you could see, maybe that has happened. But then you go look at the observations from all over the other parts of the island, and winds are out of the east, as they should be, with trade winds. And so I don't know what's going on over at my place. Maybe some weird wraparound winds or something.
There's a big fan. There's somebody who's got a big fan over at your place, and that's why it feels like the wind is coming from the wrong direction.
Yeah, just the hot air from the other partiers in the building. Because I'm in the ghetto, man. We do have a weak low-pressure area that's developing far to our southwest, and that's actually going to affect the folks over in Yap and Palau in the next coming days. And that's actually helped pull some of the moisture out of our area. Okay, so that's why we saw no dew on the cars this morning and a little bit drier air. But we're not out of the woods yet. We still have more moisture and stuff coming in for later this week, as the forecast mentions. Looks like we'll get a little bit of a breather today, and then on Thursday another round, Friday another round, and the weekend, though, looking pretty good.
All right, drill marks for the weekend, and mostly cloudy skies again, and we can anticipate some lows of about 78 degrees once the sun goes down tonight, so we'll expect that. Also, about the same time the sun's going down, high surf advisory in effect until 6 o'clock tonight along east-facing Reese. A high risk of rip currents through Thursday night along east-facing Reese as well. So one of those is going away tonight. The next one is going to the rip currents is going to be with us through Thursday. That's news and plenty of weather together, brought to you by Bank Pacific, where others put branches, they place roots.
Bring joy to your world and your budget with a holiday loan from First Hawaiian Bank. At a low 4.99% APR, fixed for 1 year, it's a smart way to add ho 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 without budget uh-oh. To apply for a holiday loan, visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or FHB.com. For more information, call 1-877-640-2337. Additional restrictions apply. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The King's Crazy Holiday Menu. It's there. It's in front of me, all dog-eared and tattered, because I'm looking at this thing every day, looking for nice things to treat you to, at least to get your mouth thinking about what you're going to want for breakfast or lunch or dinner or something like that. They got crazy lunches going on there. Open-face turkey sandwiches, chicken ranch BLTs, spam sandwich. Spam sandwich. Yeah.
Just gotta, every once in a while.
Do you like that with mayonnaise, mustard, or plain?
It doesn't matter.
I think mayo
it almost
goes
doesn't
real
matter.
well.
Mayo goes well, and plain is nice, but you got to crispy it up real good. So there are ways that we do this here. You take the Spam and you slice it about as thin as a quarter.
Okay.
Right, and so you make it as thin as possible, and then you throw it because it's already cooked, right? So you throw that on a heater and get it nice and crispy, and it's like it's meat candy. It's like it's that good. You can taste it now, can't you? There's people listening now saying, "Okay, I was going to have a vegan breakfast today," but now that you're describing the Spam that way, all right. So let me tell you the rest of it. Generous helping of fried Spam slices, melty cheese, and a fried egg served on soft Hawaiian sweet bread or Hawaiian French toast with French fries. How's that for a crazy lunch at King's?
Holiday Tritons, this is Chelsea Ting, Communications Officer with Bank of Guam and proud alumna of the University of Guam, class of 2015. I made some of the best memories during my time as a Triton, but I also remember that it wasn't easy to pay for everything that I needed to graduate on time. I have committed to giving back through the G is for Giving campaign, which will help student scholarships, programs, and activities, and I encourage you to do the same. To make a tax-deductible donation, log on to supportuog.org by December 31st or call 735-2975 for more information.
Viva UOG! It's 6:17, the Tuesday version of the Ray Gibson Show, brought to you by Guam Regional Medical City, the first choice for all of your open heart surgical needs. American Water Tech, smarter water, better water. Micronesia Renewable Energy. There's never been a better time to go solar. And everybody over at American President Lines today going to be feeling good because Charlie Bella was born in the small hours of the night, and Charlie Bella is going to help her dad, Charlie, ship the future.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Yeah, we're going to 2019. We're going to get together and have a meeting. We got to make a couple of changes in 2019. The thing where the guy says morning talk that matters, I just can't live up to that. It's just every single day I've got to come up with 4 hours of conversation that matters, that's actually meaningful to somebody. Can't it all just be political gossip and smart-ass comments? Is it? But can I just?
Is that not what we are?
Yeah, isn't it already?
No, but I mean the whole time. Just the whole time. Never mind newsmaker interviews, stuff like that.
It's up to you.
And chicks.
It's your show.
Okay. All right, so where are we at 6:19? Tuesday morning. We've got to make it through at least this part of the program. Because in my mind, this might be the most meaningful part of it, where we all get a chance to get together, say hello to each other. So there's Michael Knight, gets the phone when you call it, 888-8255, 888-TALK if you want to WhatsApp me. And I got a couple of groovy things on the WhatsApp that I'll play for you. 988-5874. That's 988-5874. You know, Kev, I had the footage yesterday and played some of it of that boat that got caught out at on the entrance to Boat Basin. What was the story on that? I
don't know.
That was it.
I saw the video.
Something got the same thing. Hey, look, there's a boat that got caught up in the front door of the Boat Basin, and there are a bunch of guys that were taking stuff off of it.
Nobody hurt.
Right? Is it still there?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was. It happened.
Who do we call on that? There was a guy. There's the fire guy, right?
Fire.
Okay, we'll see if we
Kevin
can,
Riley.
Kevin, we'll see if we can find Kevin Riley and get the details on that. It doesn't look like anybody was hurt, but it did look like it was foundering in the channel, as it were. And okay, so the other one there was the fire of the car. Did you get that video? There's a car on. I'll send it to you. Paul gave it to me yesterday, and I'll send it to you today, and we can find out where that car fire. Kevin Riley probably going to be the same guy that we talked to about that. Is burning something, and he's a fire guy, right? Okay, that's the way it is. There's Kevin Kerrigan from the Guam Daily Post. He naturally, he cannot possibly know everything there is to know about everything, because it was yesterday that you got treated to some time with Governor Eddie Jerome Bozzacalvo.
Yes, this is the exit interview.
The exit interview. Now who called the exit interview? He called
making
it, right?
the rounds.
He was here. Yeah, he was here. We had a good time. Talked about his dad. Talked about the adventures of the last 8 years. Some interesting things and. All of that. So wait a sec. So there's no fiscal crisis. Just
Well, there was, but it's over.
It's over. Okay. Yeah, well, we're gonna have to talk about this here as we go through 6:21 in the morning. Play the other theme song for about now.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see the troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name.
Yay! And they're all here. Mark Cruz on the line doing the wave this morning. And I tell you, Mark, I gotta say, I've been spending a lot of time with your niece Rayanne out in. She runs a hot dog stand right across from the post office in Agania. And I've had I'm not always in that part of Agania at lunchtime, but the last few days I have been, and that's where I've been going to get my my hot dogs for many reasons. They're good hot dogs, and the buns are soft, but the jalapenos. And I've mentioned this before. She's got the crunchiest jalapenos.
I'm surprised she let you talk about her soft buns, though.
It's as long as I can try to keep it classy. I maintain a high level of class around here on this program.
I just ruined that.
And it would be no. I'm the one that has to do it. You can do whatever you want to. So anyway, Teller, I think, is continuing to do a fantastic job. Among the things that we were talking about between Rayanne and I yesterday was a little bit about the trade wins, because everybody's commenting about the wins, and she was commenting about how tough it was in the last few days because she's got this tent over the hot dog thing, right? And so as they're putting the tent up, here comes the wind and making it want to run away. So she's got it tied down now. She's tied down to her truck, tied down to the actual hot dog vending device there. So she's doing a fantastic job. Ismail is online. Former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez, Uncle Carl's on saying good morning, Ray. Hava Linda Gabriel with her howdy. Tom Tahadzi, good morning all. Lynn Vince Borja Polino with her good morning wishes. John St. Nicholas, and he is doing the countdown for us. Thank you. So I don't have to do it. John St. Nicholas now pointing out on his clock 6 hours, 17 minutes, and about 51-ish minutes until it gets to be Christmas morning. That's right. Dear Kelligwin now. Dora Murray Fergerger, Jeff Ojeda saying their good mornings. Daryl Taggarty up early this morning. Huffa cousin Tommy Barcinas is out there. Brad Hewitt with a point. Why is so much weight given to opinions from lawyers? Legislative Legal Counsel, Governor Legal Counsel, AG opinions. Why not go to court and get actual rulings? Opinions are just that. Nothing more. You make an interesting point here, and I don't know what is specific. Is he referring to the legislature's, the Attorney General opining that the legislature cannot ban executive branch promotions? You know what? For actual, what I think to be legitimate rulings and legitimate opinions, I go to the guy. I go to Bob Klitsky. So we might want to see if we can scare Bob and see what he's got to say about that idea and the separation of powers and the inorganicity of portions of the 2019 budget bill.
Inorganicity?
Inorganicity.
That's a nice word,
I think,
especially on a Tuesday.
It might actually even be the correct word.
It might.
There's a possibility.
I'd
see if Bob knows if that's the correct word. Buddy Dave Duenas is there. Dion Shinahara. Good morning, John Ray Taitano, Manana Sidzuis, Bob Lizama, Roy Burgess, Jerry Roberts, and a double dose of Jerry Roberts today. It's the extra point on the radio, 7:20-ish. And if you need Jerry Roberts now, if you've absolutely got to get some of that Jerryness in your head, his article, Stop Chasing Perfection in the Work Zone by Jerry Roberts on page 19 of this morning's Guam Daily Post. Are you a perfectionist? Do you like tweaking projects, stories, systems, and everything else because you know whatever it is you're working on can be just a little bit better? Is that you? Well, if you want to know what the rest of the deal is, like I said, pick up a copy of the Guam Daily Post and actually read it. You'll hear Jerry with us a little bit later on this morning. Greg Karabrock in the studio, not in the studio, on the Facebook Live. Lynn Perez. Good morning. Aisha McKinnon. Dennis Bensour. His smart-ass comments do matter. Thank you. Thank you so much. Lynn Perez with a note here. It's a beautiful Bella day. And again, happy actual birthday to Charlie Bella Hermosa. Joseph Leo Sealangi is on the line this morning, as is Pretty Sahara Defensor, Andy Taidenko, Roland Torres. Michelle Franquez and Bobby Shringy and more, and the list will go on and on and on. And then there's a whole other universe of people whose names I cannot read.
Speaking of universe, we would be remiss in not congratulating Miss Philippines on winning Miss Universe yesterday.
Oh, I was going to do a whole riff on that.
Okay, because the whole island just went nuts.
But we're all Filipino. We're all. She's like a cousin, right? She's our hot Pinay cousin.
I'm
and
from
she
Palawan
just won
myself.
the 2018 Miss Universe pageant, and everybody here that I know that has nothing to Filipino blood in them are all of a sudden, yes, makababayan. That's our girl, and that's, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. I'm not. It's certainly not a criticism. It is a happy observation. There's so many people that are really, really excited about what is her name? Catriona Gray.
Catriona Gray. Yeah.
The 2018 Miss Universe. The deal here, and this was kind of the riff. I have a couple of things that I can play for you on Facebook Live this morning, and the YouTube Live, and at thepoint.gu. I have available to me at this time a couple of things. One of them is the governor's weekly radio address. And I'd be more than happy to play that for you. Or, because I don't know if I'll have time to do them both, or I can do it's about a 6-minute runway everything about Catriona Gray at the Miss Universe pageant. Runs about 6 minutes, and there's a lot of swimsuit in it. So which do you think, going back to the talk that matters, which one do you think would go over best with this audience at some point?
Well, I'm just wondering, in the governor's address, is he like dancing around the room with dollar bills floating around him?
No swimsuit. Nothing, no evening gown on the governor.
Yeah, we might as well.
I think it's the same. I think it's the same shirt that he's wearing on the front page of the Post, the little orange thing. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So I'll have to make a command decision at some point in the program. But the interesting thing is, and you pointed this out on Facebook somewhere, right? Is that.
I shared a little post.
Yeah, you did. There's a couple of shares of posts that we can talk about. But there, the governor's got this. He's doing his exit interviews and exit surveys, and now he says, page 4, Daily Post. Despite declaring a fiscal crisis at the start of this year, the governor now believes Guam is no longer facing a crisis. The state of Guam finances, he believes, quote, is as stable as it's ever been. That is not the most rallying thing that you can say about the finances of the government of Guam, that it is as stable as it has ever been, given the chronic instability of the finances of the government of Guam going back, and it ain't your fault, Eddie, it's going back decades around here. So to say that it is as stable as it ever has been is about as saying the Leaning Tower of Pizza is about as stable as it's ever been. You never know, as it could go over at any minute. But it's stable right now.
Yeah, it sounds to me like, I'm leaving things, and I'll let you find out how it really is when the next person takes over.
Months of wrangling with the legislature resulted in passage of a fiscal stabilization plan that called for spending cuts and tax increases. The administration was required to cut $30 million in the waning months of last year's budget. We reduced even more in spending than what was originally mandated, said the governor, adding that a total of $39 million was cut. A 25% increase to the business privilege tax, which went from 4% to 5%, helped fill the shortfall. That's all taxpayer, baby. There were also additional property and tobacco tax increases. Taxpayer, baby. 2019 spending plan includes an estimated $78 million in additional tax revenue, with the $30 million collected from the tax amnesty, plus the higher than expected $77 million in Section 30 funds. He predicts a budget surplus now for 2019. Add those all together, said Calvo, and what originally might have been a shortfall of over $100 million now looks like a $20 million surplus. Was it necessary for his administration to close a police precinct and 2 fire stations and the swimming pool to lobby for tax increases to cover a budget shortfall? Governor's response is, how do you think you got $39 million in savings? It meant doing those drastic cuts we needed to make in the beginning. But wait a second. They closed the police precinct, but those guys, it's not like they weren't working. They just went to fill a couple of gaps over at the Department of Corrections, right? I don't know. And then on the next page, this is the part that's alarming here. So on page 4, he says there's no fiscal crisis. On page 5, there's a story about measures that passed over at the legislature yesterday, including Senator Adda's Bill 374, narrowly approved by a vote of 7-6. The bill merely adds the words "or more" to the current budget law in order to avoid a potential $8 million loss in revenue for educational funding during the current fiscal year. Voting no were Senators Dennis Rodriguez Jr., Will Castro, Senator Uggan, Estevez Morrison, and Regine Bisco-Lee. So I'm going to remember those guys, because they may have earned a vote for whatever next election they're going to be, because they voted no on it. It's an increase in taxes on page 5 that the governor on page 4 says we don't need. So this is what I fully expect to see, because we've got this surplus going into 2019. I expect when Bill 374 reaches the governor's desk, because there is no fiscal crisis, he should veto it.
See, I wasn't even prepared for this. I don't have a surplus bid.
He should veto it, because he's saying on page 4 there's no fiscal crisis. Yet on page 5 the legislature is still passing legislation like there is. So that, my friends, yeah, that's my rant. That's my rant this morning. It's 6:32 in the morning. You're welcome to rant along with me. 888-825-5888-TALK. It's 6:32 and time for headlines from the Guam Daily Post. Kevin Kerrigan.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. And the headlines from the Guam Daily Post this morning. In Superior Court yesterday, Raymond Satur Ludwig charged in connection with allegations of sexual assault involving a 13-year-old girl known to him. According to the magistrate complaint, the girl told her aunt that she was held down on a bed while kicking and crying while she was sexually assaulted. Girl's mother reportedly told her daughter to stop making up stories. However, the girl eventually told authorities, and the assaults stopped after another man known to the victim's family got arrested for touching one of his own daughters, according to court documents. The 17-year-old girl living at the Department of Youth Affairs cottage home was reported missing after an outing at Matapang Beach on Saturday. In a release, DYA reports the teenager was part of a group of 4 clients and 2 cottage home personnel who were getting ready to leave the beach when a Guam Fire Department rescue unit arrived in response to an emergency. Following the commotion, the DYA personnel noticed the girl was gone. She's described as Chookies, about 5 feet tall and weighing 120 pounds. Anyone with information on the missing girl is asked to call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP or DYA at 735-5022. Guam legislature honored Guam medical examiner Dr. Aurelio Espinola yesterday with a resolution recognizing his 25 years of service to the island. The resolution was introduced by Senator James Espaldon. Espinola will officially step down at the end of next month. A replacement has not yet been found for him. Born in the Philippines, Espinola grew up in Manila, worked in Detroit and Houston before coming to Guam. After he retires, he told the Guam Daily Post that he'll open a beauty salon in the Philippines. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. How's that, a medical examiner doing your hair?
I don't know.
Let's see about this scalp.
I'm not sure about that. That's, yeah. There's some bond in there. 634-888-8255-888-TALK. That's, we'll also call that iConnect time. Are we going to do the jingle bell on this one here?
We can, but I just want to say...
Because we already did we did the jingle bell. We already did the Dear Kelligwin bit.
Well, that was for a whole different reason.
You want to?
It carries its own personality.
iConnect
on
time.
how you use it.
All right, fine. iConnect time is 6:35. They're giving away a vacation for 2 to Manila with a stay at the new Holiday Inn Express in their Connect and Win giveaway. Sign up for a 12-month plan, and you're automatically entered. 'Tis the season for winning with iConnect. Go to iConnectGuam.com for details.
At the heart of everything we do is our mission to improve the life of every child. From mungy nennies to growing teens, they'll be in trusted hands at FHP Health Center, where we offer comprehensive pediatric services to nurture and protect your child's health from day one. Begin your little one's journey to good health at FHP with seasoned pediatricians and professional staff who hold decades of combined experience. FHP Health Center, our island, your clinic.
Welcome to the annual holiday swap. Harold, you first. Oh, it's a subway card.
Wow.
Nice, Sharon.
I'm gonna take the subway card.
Oh, Harold, now you can choose a new gift.
I think I'll just take that subway card right back.
Okay.
I don't think you can do that, Harold.
Stuff it, Glenn. This is between me and Sharon.
A Subway card is the gotta have it gift. With cards from $5 up to any amount, you'll give a gift and get a gift too. Get a free 40-ounce fountain drink with a $20 load, or get a free regular 6-inch sub with a $30 load on any Subway card. Subway, make it what you want at participating restaurants.
Is it traffic? No, there's nothing traffic right now. 6:36 in the morning, and it looks like there might be a line of traffic starting to build up at the intersection of Route 16 and I want to say 27, but it's not really, because 27 just kind of ends at that intersection. I think there's a lot of people trying to get through the McDonald's and that whole intersection where the McDonald's and the laundry place is. But otherwise, I don't see anything else happening. No traffic lining up in front of Anderson Air Force Base, Navy Hospital, or Big Navy at this time, and nothing happening in the villages either. I'll keep an eye on the traffic gizmo. You keep an eye on the streets. If you see something happening out there, 888-8255. Thank you.
Hungry? Stop by Circle K for Kraft Kitchen's hot breakfast, lunch, and dinner items delivered fresh 3 times a day. Circle K. Take it easy.
Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Buy one, get one free. Stop by Circle K today and satisfy your heart's desires. Available at all Circle K stores, excluding Barragata, Airport, and Campers locations. Applies only to the 3.38-ounce servings.
Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from Ruby Tuesday. Buy a $25 or $50 gift card for those on your shopping list. Get a $15 bonus coupon with every $50 card purchase. Some extra holiday happiness from Ruby Tuesday. Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from Chuck E. Cheese's Guam. Get a free medium pizza with every $25 gift card purchase and a free extra large pizza with every $50 gift card purchase. Some extra holiday happiness from Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
The Ray Gibson Show. News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. Turn it up. Now tell a friend.
Just hold on. Hold it, your horses there. Just easy now. I'm calling up something on the browser here that I intend to put on the online so that you can see it on Facebook Live. I've got a friend, and I'm sure she's your friend as well, Ruby Lavers Rosano on Facebook, and she's tagged me in a post that she put up there yesterday, and the post read, "Hey, Jerky McJerkfaces, you don't pass a school bus with the lights flashing. Happened twice within 8 minutes today on the way home. You do not endanger children because you are impatient. 24 traffic fatalities this year. Let's keep it there. Everybody should make it home for Christmas." And she's got a couple of images here of vehicles that are actually passing the bus that's already got the little stop sign, the stop sign that wiggles out there, and the lights are all flashing, and there's kids getting out. I want to say this is a major crime. This is a big deal.
It's a super no-no, and the reason you don't pass the bus is because in many cases, especially in rural areas, the children will actually have to pass in front of the bus and cross the street to get to their homes or their drop-off point, and that's why the bus has that there, and the law is the way it is.
Yeah, and on Roy T. Damian as an example there, the bus will stop, but the bus shelter where the parents and aunties and uncles that might be picking up the kids are is across the street. So the bus has to stop, let the kids out, and they've got to crawl to go from in front of the bus then across the street to the other side. Certainly in the village streets, it might not be that big of an issue, but this looks like a major routed roadway that we're talking about here, where these cars are passing the school bus as it's actually discharging the kids. Needs to be more, I think, by way of enforcement. Perhaps we'll see if we can scare up some police officer on stuff like that a little bit later on in the program.
You know, in one city, and I just can't misplace the name right now. I'll look it up. But they actually put things on the bus that when they engage the stops, then a little camera pops up there, and if somebody passes it, a sensor will get their license plate, and then they get reported
really?
back to the
Oh yeah, there's we've got the and if you're a police officer and you're interested in maybe chasing these guys that and there's video or at least photographic evidence of them breaking the law. The pictures are there. You might be able to blow them up and I don't know, enhance them a little bit so that people can see so that you might be able to make out a license plate or make or model of the vehicles and actually go find them and say that somebody saw you commit this act and we're going to cite you for it. I don't know what the penalty for that is going to be. I don't know, take away the driver's license, something like that. Can we get away with that kind of thing? My buddy Mark Cruz on the line. Hafalai.
Hey, Rayman.
Did I say her name? Your niece's name is Rayanne, right?
Rayanne?
The one with the hot dogs. In Agania.
Oh, no, Rihanna.
Rihanna. There we go. Rihanna. Sorry.
Yeah, Rihanna.
I remember the crunchy jalapenos, but not the name.
Yeah. Her mom is Regina, and her grandma her paternal grandma is Anna, so they made it Rihanna.
Ah, okay. See, now that's better, easier for me to remember. I'm just going to put it out. The new hot dog lady in Agania.
Yeah. And her mom is a San Miguel from Chalampago, so big baseball family.
Yeah.
Those guys are really good. I'm calling. Buses are right there on my pet peeves with red light runners. And what we need to do is, and this is my fix on it, make it $500 when you pass a bus. And to catch them, we need private industry, and I'm going to talk to my bosses about it, to work a way to put HD cameras in the buses to catch these jerks. Because I see it all the time, just like she does. And there are some times where I've got it on my dash cam, but not clear enough to tell the license plate.
Yeah. Well, the camera technology, and we're right up with you on that. We're using technology here that HD 1080p cameras here in the studios, and you can buy them on eBay. I don't know, $60 or something like that. They're not crazy expensive, and there are systems at play. I tell you what you need to do is when you start putting together flesh out the plan, talk to my buddies over in the telecom behind me. Because there are systems that they have where you might even be able to get real-time video streamed from the buses. Heck, I'd put a bunch of cameras in there. I'd put the cameras on the kids. I'd put the camera on the driver. I'd put the camera on front and back of the bus. They're not expensive.
Yeah, front and back of the bus, definitely. You just want to get the traffic coming from behind you and the traffic that's passing you. Mm-hmm. In the other direction. I mean, as long as you're able to get really good, video of it, and you can enhance it to where you can see the license plate, or the driver's vision is probably going to be really good. He could actually say, okay, the car that passed me at this time, this was the license plate number.
Uh-huh. And have the driver swear out some kind of complaint and hand off the information to the Guam Police Department and let them do what GPD do.
And then the senators need to step up and just start. I'm not even sure what the fine is right now, but start it at $500, because when people start having to shell out $500, hey. And the great thing about it is when you get them on camera, as long as their tin isn't that dark. Uh-huh. They can't say, oh, well, what you do is you're sending the ticket to the guy in the car, and the guy goes, well, it wasn't me. And I say, well, yeah, but it was your car.
Your car.
And then who is this person driving it? And then we'll make sure they get the ticket.
Yeah, well, the registered, whoever the vehicle is registered to is going to ultimately be responsible for what happens with that vehicle.
Exactly.
Run a red light. I'm sorry, that's not you in the driver's, but it's your car, and so it was your car that crossed the plane, broke the plane, got the picture taken. So you're the one that's going to be responsible for it. Mike?
Yeah, it should be noted at least 16 states now have school bus stop arm camera laws. Pennsylvania became the 16th state this year to do so. And what the cameras do, they spot them when they pass, and they send them information to the authorities.
What's that, Mark?
Well, the red light camera issue is the reason why they passed the law basically saying, yeah, you can have red light cameras. DPW, I don't know who wrote the RFP, basically in the States, it's 60%, 60 to 65% goes to the private contractor that puts the cameras in at the intersection. The state gets the rest.
Okay.
The way they wrote it on Guam was you can only charge enough to get your money back in the first year, and then afterwards you're charging a very minimal fee just to maintain the system. So
we don't do that with office rent, do we?
No,
we don't. What? Where else? Where else do we have deals like that in the government of Guam?
Nowhere.
In procurement? What? What? You can only make your money back in the first year, and then a nominal maintenance fee after that. Yeah, I'd race to that to bid on that.
Yeah, well, I had a partner that was willing to go in and do everything until we saw the terms, and they were like, they headed for the hills. They had this new technology out of Israel that was going to really, really give us what we needed at the red light.
Yeah. I've got a couple of friends here on Guam that are doing business with and I don't even know how to describe the technology that they're using, but it's stuff like that, GPS systems, vehicle tracking, vehicle maintenance, and just putting together all of this big data so people that have fleets know where their guys are, know what's happening to the vehicles 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It just and it uses standard same as you and I internet.
Yeah, and I use them too.
Yeah, yeah. So I
use my buddy too.
I think there's going to be more of that, and every once in a while he goes back to Israel and comes back with a whole bunch of gee whiz ideas and things like that. It'd be nice to roll out into the private sector, but it'd be nice to have us roll them out into the public sector as well. Hey, listen, Mark, it's always fun talking with you.
All right, and hey, congratulations on all your personal records, man. Keep it going.
I'm working on it, bro. I'm working on it.
Hey, I love that 50-something minute 5K. That was awesome.
Get out of here, you. I'll talk to you, bud.
Talk to you later.
It's 6:47 in the morning. 888-8255-888. TALK is the number 988-5874. And as it turns out, as it turns out, I will have time today to play both of the video pieces that I have for you. One of the video pieces is the governor's weekly address, which I'm surprised we're not getting calls from people already saying clamoring. Why has he not played it yet? He's just teasing us all morning long.
I've gotten 10 calls asking about it.
What's the holdup? Why isn't the governor's weekly address on the air yet? Or I could play little bits and pieces of the other big deal, which is a 6-minute love fest for Catriona Gray, the 2018 Miss Universe. Now we're all excited about her winning this, right? Because it's a pretty Filipina girl, and everybody has got Filipino blood in them. Even you, Mike, I'm sure, have got some in you, and so we're all crazy about that, and we're happy that you. But don't forget, we sent somebody to the Miss Universe as well. So where's Athena? She came in second, right? Is that what happened? Because we're all crazy about the winner. But how did Athena do on this? And if we're lucky, we'll see if we can make a couple of telephone calls and find Ron and see what's up with a pretty Athena. In the meantime, 6:49 in the morning. So without any further delay, let me see if I can scare up this week's governor's address. And go. Here it is.
Half a day, my fellow Guamanians. In the last few years, we've been working to create new industries for Guam to help spur new opportunities for our people. One exciting new industry that we've been working to establish is a spaceport on Guam. The Guam International Airport Authority currently is conducting feasibility studies to establish safe operations. In the last few years, we've seen a number of organizations come to Guam to conduct various studies on the climate and the atmosphere, and using Guam as a site from which they have launched balloons, planes, and other equipment. It is our equatorial location that has brought them here that makes it ideal for launches. We have a couple of companies who have shown interest in partnering with us on this. We've been working with the Federal Aviation Administration to accomplish that objective and are hoping to complete this work by next year. I'm looking forward to seeing this becoming a new industry for Guam. Imagine our children being a part of space exploration and the next level of communications and technology. In addition to this, we've also doubled the number of airlines and have increased the number of hotel rooms, creating new jobs and spurring the economy. It's just one of the reasons I'm so excited about the future of our island. We have the ability and the opportunity to raise our community to even greater heights. So I want to thank the folks at Guam International Airport for their diligence in this project, which could launch a new industry and even a new era for our island. Viva Guam International Airport. Viva Guam, and God bless us all.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Eddie Jerome Mazzacalvo in his weekly address here talking about a spaceport. Huh? Is that... This is along the lines of wasn't Trump just a few months ago talking about a space force? Isn't that what the big deal was? Is he wanted to say we need to go back to space and we need to take the military with us? And as you might imagine, there were a whole bunch of people that you poo-pooed the idea because it was Donald Trump saying it. But now we're in conversation about the space port. Would that not lubricate? Would that not make Guam available the same way we've got Air Force Base and runways and towers and airplane infrastructure up at Anderson Air Force Base? We could do the same thing. We could do a whole other Space Force base on Guam. So it would be great. So all of my anti-military friends are going to freak out here, but let me just say this, right? If we build a space port, we could make it a Space Force spaceport. Do you get it? Space Force Spaceport. Be like Anegoseganya, except for rockets.
But what island would we build that on? Because it's not going to fit on this.
No. You have plenty of room here. Plenty of room. Don't worry about it. We just knock down some more government property, and we'll be all right. But I'm crazy about the idea, Eddie. I'm sorry that you're waiting until the waning days of your administration to talk about it. But I think personally think it is a big idea, and it's time for that idea to come. 888-8255. Where's the story here? There's another deal that I don't know if you have heard about this. The only reason why I heard about it is the only reasons I've heard about it is because, number one, I am a numismatist, that is, coin collector, and number two, it is a story. You probably haven't seen it yet because it's still fairly new. The United States Mint is officially launching a new multi-year dollar coin program. Out of the story is the United States Mint hosted a ribbon-cutting ceremony to kick off the American Innovation Dollar Coin Program, a multi-year initiative honoring innovators and innovations from each state, the District of Columbia, and the 5 U.S. territories, including Guam. We are going to get another U.S. minted coin. Now, this would be, correct me if I'm, this would be the third one, right, Sean?
I think so. It'd be the third one since the Guam quarter way back when.
I believe that was 2009.
Oh, man, you're going to make me go look in my living room, aren't you?
No, you don't have to. But, we're all excited for the Guam quarters. And so I'm wondering how this is going to work. And I know a little bit of the process, but you know more because you were part of the initiative that determined the artwork and was working with the U.S. Mint to get the Guam State coins done.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and it hasn't changed much in probably the last 50 years, but obviously they'll get an artist that'll be commissioned with a lot of input from, depending on who they would like to go to. Will they go this time to Guam artists? Will they go to maybe back to the government? Then obviously when they do that whole iterative process, then the renderings will begin looking at different drafts of how to look. And Ray, remember the challenge is not everything will look good on the back of a quarter.
Yes.
It's just the space, the sheer space. It's not exactly a dollar bill. So it'll be a little bit more tricky. And then once that's done and it's agreed to by the I believe it's the head of the U.S. Mint, and then they just begin that process and they set the dies. And all those other cool things about the process that I think most of our community would be. When you see it, that's an amazing thing.
Oh, I remember that morning we had representatives from the U.S. Mint here on Guam, and I've got a couple of different versions, obviously. I've got the silver proof set version with the Guam coin in it, and I've got a couple of other high-end versions of the coin. But the ones that I like the most, frankly, are the Guam coins that I see in circulation because I know that people are using them. And I hope that everybody has that fascination still for those 50-state coins that included the territories. But I guess the other part of this is this series is going to be based on innovators and innovation from Guam. So I guess the question is, who is going to be on this coin? Who is going to get or what innovation that we've got is going to be touted as part of our narrative, if you will?
If I can give my 2 cents on that, I think the PROA would be the actual could be our innovation. Obviously, for us being a seafaring community that we were back in those, pretty much the pre-contact times, I think the PROA would emerge as one of them. And I remember that during the whole process for the Guam Quarter the first time. Yeah. So maybe the PROA. There could be other things.
Well, I thought the narrative for the PROA, there were 2 alternatives. The one that we got, I always refer to as the clip art. I mean, I love the coin, but I was never crazy about the artwork. I liked the other narrative with the natives and the PROA.
Right.
And I always say that was my favorite one.
If I can raise my hand and say, sure, that's it, that would be my pick.
Right. So, and we've already got the artwork, and we can make it, I think, a little bit bigger because it's going to be going on a dollar coin.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that'd be much bigger. I think it'll look even nice. I mean, nicer. I mean, some of the detail that the artists do is just to blow your mind.
Oh, the technology today that the engravers have is incredible. And there's just a few other things that they need to add to it. But like I said, there's going to be a new Guam coin. We've got plenty of time to work on the artwork, though, my friend, because the Guam Quarter, they're going to go through all of the 50 states first, as they did initially with the state quarters.
Yep.
And it looks like the Guam and Puerto Rico and American Samoa and Virgin Islands and Commonwealth of the Northern Marianas, we will get our coins issued in 2032.
So I guess we'll start working on it now, right?
I think so. Shawnee, it's always a delight talking with you. What's the plans for the holiday at the courts? We've got Christmas coming up next week. You guys open on Monday and then closed on Tuesday?
Yeah, absolutely. And then just kind of ahead of that, on Thursday, we're going to close our Northern Court a little bit early, but we're going to have a Christmas merienda at the Guam Judicial Center. We'll have some music, a little bit of food, and just invite and just tell everybody, hey, listen, for our people especially, don't get a chance to take a break from all the things that they do. So we're going to just say, hey, Merry Christmas to you all, and have a little bit of time to just celebrate the holidays with our staff at the judiciary. So it should be a lot of fun.
But just for clarity, so Monday you are open. Monday Christmas Eve you're open.
Tuesday we will not be open, and then we'll reopen on Wednesday for the balance of the week.
Okay.
And then the same will happen on
New Year's. Okay. Well. I got you. And so just a quick note for people that intend on drinking on New Year's. When is the next available magistrate opportunity?
Let's see. The next magistrate will be probably today. Well, that was for today from last night, so it'll be tomorrow.
Well, no. I meant for people that get busted for drinking and driving on New Year's Eve.
We will find out probably later this week.
Okay, so it's just one of those things. You get busted on New Year's Eve, it might be deep into 2019 before you can get magistrated and sent home. Yeah, Happy New Year. Dude, I'll talk to you pretty soon.
All right, thanks, Ray.
It's always fun. Sean Gumatauta with me from the Unified Judiciary with a couple of thoughts. One of them about obviously the holiday work that they're going to be doing. But like I said, there aren't too many people that are familiar with getting Guam stuff on U.S. minted coins. He was part of the process for the state coin program that they launched in the early 2000s. 7 o'clock in the morning, are really close to it. If you want more information on this, just go to the U.S. Mint and look up coin and metal programs or American Innovation dollar coins for more information. You can actually start making your orders for this right now because they're going to start streaming these, I think this year. At any rate, oh, okay. Christmas with strings. Gotcha. News from Fox News coming up here in just moments. On the other side of that, Kevin Kerrigan with a look at the big stories. Believe we've got the live Jerry Roberts in studio again this morning. We'll bring him in and we'll talk about what's been going on the market. Stand by now for Fox News live on KUSG Augusta.
Wall Street picks up where it left off. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, starting this week with another sell-off after Friday's plunge. The Dow down 497 points at the bell, finishing under 24,000. Concern about this week's Fed meeting and interest rate hikes getting part of the blame. But there are other factors, including oil prices.
Big headline today, oil down below $50 a barrel. That's West Texas Intermediate. These are the fears that traders have, that it's a global slowdown, and that's what is causing these prices to go lower.
Fox Business Network's Sherry Willis at the New York Stock Exchange. Former FBI Chief James Comey again defending the agency's handling of both the Clinton email probe and the Trump campaign surveillance, an anti-Trump dossier that led to the Russia probe.
The FBI's reputation has taken a big hit because the President of the United States, with his acolytes, has lied about it constantly. And in the face of those lies, a whole lot of good people who watch your network believe that nonsense.
Answering a question from Fox's Catherine Herridge moments ago after a second grilling behind closed doors from members of two House committees. A protester who tried to make a point by climbing a New York landmark on the 4th of July is convicted of a federal crime. Fox's Gernal Scott has this live.
Lisa, Therese Okumu's stunt was called dangerous and one that endangered New York City and National Park Police, visitors to the Statue of Liberty, and Okumu herself. U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman said Okumu's climb went well beyond peaceable protests, and while that is a respected right, putting people in jeopardy while doing it is a crime. Okumu said her actions brought her protest of immigration policy to a wider audience. The conviction is for misdemeanor charges, including trespassing, and could send her to prison for up to 18 months. Lisa.
Thanks, Gernal. As the numbers continue to settle on Wall Street, the Dow down over 500 points at the close. This is Fox News.
Introducing Exchanged, Guam's first online and mobile remittance to the Philippines. Exchanged is the easiest and fastest way to send money to your family and friends anywhere in the Philippines. Download the Exchanged app or visit their website, exchange.me. Sign up, remit, and get a chance to win a trip for two to Manila. Deluxe accommodations at the Belmont Hotel at Resorts World Manila. So sign up and remit now at Exchanged. Promo ends March 2nd, 2019. Conditions apply. Also avail of Exchange dollar to remit promo. Visit exchange.me for details.
Chili's 3 for Me menu just got bigger. We're giving you more choices for the same great price. For just $15, you can get a beverage, salad, and an entree. First, choose from a refreshing Coca-Cola, iced tea, or Heineken on draft. Then enjoy a house salad and select your choice of a mouth-watering entree, like our half-rack ribs, Cajun chicken pasta, old-timer burger, personal chicken fajitas, or the flavorful margarita flatbread. So hurry in today and enjoy our Chili's 3 for Me menu for just $15. Available for a limited time. Chili's, more life happens here.
The Saudis, in so many words, are accusing U.S. lawmakers of interfering in the kingdom's internal affairs after last week's passage of two resolutions over the killing of a Saudi journalist.
Saudi Arabia reacted angrily to the U.S. Senate voting to hold Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman responsible for Jamal Khashoggi's murder. Khashoggi was killed in October in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul when he went to pick up papers to allow him to marry his fiancée. President Trump has said he sees no hard evidence that the Saudi Crown Prince ordered the murder. But the Senate begged to differ and also voted for the U.S. to withdraw its support of Saudi Arabia and its war in Yemen. That vote was seen as symbolic.
Fox's Amy Kellogg, both resolutions were non-binding. Meantime, the Canadian Prime Minister signaling he wants a way out of an agreement to sell armored vehicles to Saudi Arabia, and he's getting pushback from the Canadian arm of General Dynamics Corp, warning that Canada's government could incur billions of dollars of liability if that deal is unilaterally scrapped. The list of U.S. senators seeking re-election 2 years from now is already shrinking.
Tennessee Republican Lamar Alexander won't run for re-election in 2020. Alexander was first elected to the Senate in 2002 after serving as Tennessee's governor and Secretary of Education. He also ran for president in 1996 and 2000. Most recently, Alexander has led the Senate's Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee. In a statement, Alexander says he is deeply grateful to serve, but it's time for someone else to have that privilege. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Recapping today's sell-off on Wall Street after Friday's plunge, it's the second straight drop of 2% or more for the Dow. The Dow down 507, finishing right around 23,592. A variety of factors contributing to the sell-off, getting blamed for it under the overall umbrella of concern about economic growth globally. I'm Lisa Brady, and this is Fox News.
Cheers to 80 years. It's our 80th anniversary and the gifts are on us. 80 gift certificates, 8 shopping sprees, 8 staycations, and 1 round trip flyaway for 2 to Manila. So how do you enter? Calvo's Insurance personal home and auto customers are automatically entered. Non-Calvo's customers may enter by receiving a qualified quote. It's our way of saying thank you for trusting us for the past 80 years. For more details, visit calvos.com/giveaway or call 472-6816. Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years.
Family Finance, serving the people of Guam since 1959. Now you can start planning for the holidays by getting a personal Christmas loan from $1,000 up to $3,500. Family Finance has 3 convenient locations to serve you. Give them a call in Dededo, 633-4473, Hagåtña, 475-4545, and the Upper Tumon location on the 2nd floor of the Pacific Building at 647-5626. Get your Christmas loans today from Family Finance.
Papa Day, this is Maria Lamson and Kayla Ramos, Vice President and Secretary of the Simon Sanchez High School Senior Class of 2019.
And we're inviting you to support our race to graduation in our annual Run with the Sharks 5K on December 22nd.
Join us at the Simon Sanchez campus for raffle prizes, shirts, and all-around Shark spirit. Go time is at 6 a.m.
Pre-registration is available at the main office and on race day. Call 489-8917 or 8172 for more information.
Thank you for all your support. From Simon Sanchez High School graduating class of 2019.
Here at APL, our core values give the company its heart and soul. Whether it's connecting your business with our global network through our newly enhanced service or investing our efforts into giving back to the community, APL is committed to serving you. We humbly honor the opportunity to find innovative solutions for you and your business. To learn more about our enhanced service, call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com/Guam for more details.
At Guam Regional Medical City, it is our mission to become the island's premier choice for specialty care, like cardiology, pulmonology, neurosciences, orthopedics, oncology services, and more. We aim to protect our island from heart attacks, strokes, cancer, and diabetic complications. But should you suffer from such diseases, we're ready with world-class options, both inpatient and outpatient. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 8 minutes past 7 a.m. this Tuesday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan. Here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. The Attorney General has ruled that the Guam legislature cannot restrict the governor from promoting GovGuam employees within the executive branch. In her opinion, Attorney General Elizabeth Barrett Anderson concluded that the legislature's prohibition on executive branch promotions violates the separation of powers and is inorganic. The ban against promotions was one of several restrictions in the 2019 budget law intended to keep a lid on spending. It was issued at the request of Department of Administration Director Edward Byrne, who sought clarification on those restrictions in the budget law. This latest opinion follows a similar legal conclusion in October, overturning the budget law's hiring freeze. In addition to prohibiting hiring and promotions, the budget law also restricts salary increments, merit bonuses, and government-funded travel, all of which are supposed to apply to the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. The Attorney General says an opinion on the permissibility of those other restrictions will be addressed at a later time. Despite declaring a fiscal crisis at the start of the year, Governor Eddie Calvo says as he leaves office, he now believes Guam is no longer facing a fiscal crisis. The governor said he believes GovGuam finances are now as stable as they've ever been. That's the result of cutting $39 million in spending and the passage of tax increases that should generate $78 million in revenue this fiscal year. What originally might have been a shortfall of over $100 million, said the governor, now looks like a $20 million surplus. The governor is meeting with members of the media this week, reflecting on his 2 terms in office and reviewing what he sees as his successes and regrets. When people look back at his 8 years in office, Governor Calvo said he hopes they'll say he gave it his all. We'll have more news after this.
For more than 40 years, we've earned your trust, caring for our island's health, quality care and access to health solutions you deserve. Take care, our island, your health plan. Take care, health solutions that you deserve. Take care, peace of mind to come in 30 years.
are the benefits of switching to the handset payment option with GTA? For starters, you can customize a plan that matches your budget and lowers your monthly payment. HPO lets you upgrade to the latest phones whenever you want. No more waiting for a contract to end to get that slimmer, faster smartphone. Because with HPO, there are no contracts. HPO lets you design a phone plan that suits you. So join the thousands who've already switched to HPO, the most customizable phone plan on island. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
News time here at The Point is 11 minutes past 7 a.m. Guam lawmakers went to the voting file yesterday rejecting a bill to allow transgender individuals to change their legal sex designation. However, they did approve a measure granting a qualifying certificate to Cortec Captive Insurance Corporation and narrowly approved another bill correcting a provision in the budget law that will allow the property tax increase to take effect. Senator Atta's Bill 374 was narrowly approved by a vote of 7-6. The measure merely adds the words "or more" to the current budget law in order to avoid a potential $8 million loss in revenue for educational funding during the current fiscal year. Voting no were Senators Dennis Rodriguez Jr., Will Castro, Frank Uggan Jr., Fernando Estevez, Tommy Morrison, and Regine Bisco-Lee. Among the other bills passed yesterday were Senator Atta's measure establishing rules and regulations governing off-premise signage and Senator Talina Nelson's two bills setting minimum qualifications for the Director of the Department of Corrections and Guam Customs. A surprise in his weekly address this week from Governor Eddie Calvo, who has revealed that Guam International Airport Authority is currently conducting a feasibility study in connection with the possibility of establishing a spaceport on Guam. The governor says that a number of organizations have expressed an interest in building a launch site here on island, and they've conducted various studies on climate and atmosphere. He said the island's equatorial location has sparked the interest because it is ideal for space launches. We've been working with the Federal Aviation Administration to accomplish the objective, said the governor, and he hopes an announcement can be made by next year. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Ray and Mike now take a look at weather.
Spaceport!
Presenting Admiral Ray Gibson.
Mostly cloudy skies, isolated showers and thunderstorms today. Michael, east winds 15 to 20 miles an hour, daytime highs 88 degrees, and overnight lows are about 78 degrees. There's sunset tonight at 5:57. Sun came up this morning at 6:37. Probably going to end up doing the same thing here in just a little bit. A couple of notes here. High risk of a surf advisory in effect until 6 o'clock tonight along the east-facing reefs, and a high risk of rip currents through Thursday night along east-facing reefs as well. So watch out for all of that. Let me just quickly see if I can refresh the radar imagery. So we've got the absolute latest frame, so you can delve into what the near-term forecast is going to be.
Oh, that makes me the science officer.
Yeah, well, no,
Awesome.
it would always be, and it would have been that way anyway.
Oh, run long and perspire.
Yeah, that's it.
So, not much out there, man, right now. Looks like most of the activities moved off to the west, much as it did yesterday. This area of showers looked like it was going to slam us overnight, but it kind of petered out as it moved in. And right now, it's not looking like there's going to be too much falling today, although they are expecting scattered showers in one form or another between now and Friday. And then the weekend should clear up just a little bit. Do have a weak low-pressure area developing very far to the southwest of us out near Palau and Yap. They will be dealing with that. We will not, but that's actually what's helped pull some of this moisture out of our area. So maybe today you'll have a good chance to get some of those grill marks you're talking about.
Grill marks during a weekday?
It could happen.
Huh. Let me just ponder the possibility here of doing something like that. Dude, there's work, though.
I know, right?
I got stuff. You know what I just found out I got to do?
What?
I got to renew my firearms permit.
Oh, yeah.
It expires at the end of the it expires at the end of the year, and so I'm having a hard time with something. If we need Paul Tapau on this, because there is a portion of the GPD website that I cannot get the entire application for.
Oh, wow.
You should be able to download the application, right? You fill it out, and then you take it to them.
Yeah.
And 55 plus, so I can sit down for all of this. I can go through the senior citizen. I should be able to get my new firearms permit today if I get the forms all filled out. So I'm just saying, I can get to the site, I can click on it, and it gives me the first pages of rules and regulations. And you might be thinking, this is Ray totally taking advantage of his platform on the radio to make things easy for himself. And you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. So if I can get somebody to send me a correct PDF of the permit application for renewal, that would be awesome.
Are you one of the guys that stands in the 55 and over line and then jogs in place just to tick everybody else off?
I am that guy.
I thought so.
I am him. It's 7:15 in the morning. That's news and weather together here in The Point.
Security Title is honored to join in sponsoring Ray Gibson on The Point. Half a day. I'm Mark Benventi of Santa Rita, and this is where I start my day, listening to the voice of our community and sharing thoughts and issues that affect us all. It all boils down to our people, our land. Protei Igumamo. Protect your home. When purchasing or refinancing your home, remember to call the professionals at Security Title, just like you call Ray Gibson in the morning.
No, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm sorry. You know microphones are on. So we're just Jerry Roberts and I going, spaceport. Spaceport, huh? So do we get to develop our own Space Force? Can we do that? Can it be like the Guam guys, be Space Force Guam? That would be. I think that would be awesome.
Would the TSA lines be any shorter?
maybe. But interesting idea, interesting concept.
I don't know, Jim. I can't get the thing to turn over.
I want to design the uniform. Let's design. Can we get the uniform design going? We need to have somebody start working on that right now. And we also need to determine early in the process, will we actually be referring to anybody involved with this in this as space cadets?
The USS Lattystone.
It's going to be perfect. 7:16 in the morning. 888-8255. 888-TALK. I'm supposed to do commercials, right? Portions of the program. And you thought they were crazy at King's. Well, at least they've got the menu. At least King's has got the crazy menu and the crazy breakfast items that they've got for you, including the ribeye and steak, a tender grilled 14-ounce choice ribeye steak, cooked the way you like it. Then they serve it with 2 eggs, also cooked the way you like it, and hashed browns, ribeye and eggs for breakfast at King's on their crazy menu. Okay, Mike, hit something. Press a button.
Because I just signed up for a 12-month iConnect plan, I'm automatically entered into iConnect's Connect and Win giveaway. iConnect is giving away a trip for 2 to Manila with a stay at the new Holiday Inn Express. They'll also be giving away an Apple Watch, Apple TV, more Mabuhay miles, Fitbits, and Beyond the Box gift cards. Go to iConnectGuam.com for details or call 888-8888 to learn how you can connect and win with iConnect.
Conditions apply. 7:17 in the morning. Portions of the program brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. Don't you know that these guys are going to want to step up and be a part of the spaceport that the governor's talking about? Maybe they'll even lend them the money, because it all starts with yes. Portions of the program also brought to you by American President Lines, shipping the future from Guam's very own spaceport. American Water Tech, smarter water, better water. Guys over at Guam Regional Medical City, first choice for all of your open heart surgical needs and space medicine needs, and of course Micronesia Renewable Energy. There's never been a better time to go solar. All right, solar spaceport, solar. I'll come up with something. I'll just go ahead.
Helen Keller once said, "Blindness separates us from things, but deafness separates us from people." At Ross Hearing Aids, it's their mission to keep you connected to the moments and the people that matter most in your life. Hearing aid technology has never been better, so schedule your complimentary hearing consultation today. Call Ross Hearing Aids, 637-HEAR, 637-4327. You should hear what you're missing.
I love you, Daddy.
How's your hearing?
My hearing is perfect, and let's see if you can hear the saliva in, it's the great thing about doing talk radio on FM is you should be able to hear everything. You should be able to hear the little hairs in my nose whistle when I breathe, and you should be able to hear the saliva on my teeth as I try to tell you about a brand new artisan bread masterpiece at Wendy's. The Bacon Maple Chicken Sandwich. The new sandwich is made with hot, crispy, home-style chicken fillet, topped with Swiss cheese, applewood smoked bacon, and then there's drizzlage. Drizzlage sound effect. Thank you. We're drizzling with sweet and savory maple glaze, all in between a warm and fluffy croissant bun. A limited-time sandwich brings back all kinds of your favorite flavors for this incredible time of the year. Stop by and try one today at Wendy's. Quality is their recipe.
The Ray Gibson Show. Call now.
888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Somebody asking, how does Ada's bill not get unanimous approval? It makes no sense. Are we referring to the bill 374, the no more taxes bill?
The or more.
Yeah, more.
It just makes sense that they would unanimously approve something that clarifies the language of something that they know needs to be done. I just don't understand.
Because it's a second bite at the tax apple, and there are, I think, since the election, a lot of people that have heard from the constituents saying, "Look, no new taxes here," and even though this is not necessarily a new tax, it's an increase on a tax that I'm saying and have said since day one. There is no fiscal crisis. It was a hoax, ladies and gentlemen. and today, as I pointed out before, page 4 of today's Guam Daily Post, the governor says no fiscal crisis. We've got about $20 million worth of a surplus. Look at me, I did a great job, right? And so he says there's no fiscal crisis. On page 7, the legislature passes a measure by one vote that would indicate that there is still a fiscal crisis. We're not going to be able to get the additional money that we need for the educational funds, and the sky is falling, and people will die, right? So we've got these two things happening within the same section of the newspaper that seem to contradict each other. And as they say, if we're going to have, if we've got a surplus, Deanna Palmer on Facebook Live is saying it. Governor, put the GRT back to 4%. Don't spend that $20 million surplus. So look out, Governor, and legislature will start spending like crazy. Public bears the bill in higher taxes. Not really good news for starting 2019. And who is this tax going to be on? Property owners. It's going to be on people that own property. And what are they going to do when they get hit with this additional tax based on their property that's valued at more than $1 million? They're going to pass that on to somebody else, right? How many residences are we talking about that are valued over $1 million? Probably not a lot, right? They're probably all like businesses, like retail spaces.
One of the concerns was apartment buildings.
Apartment buildings.
And owners of apartment buildings would pass it on to renters.
Exactly. So businesses don't pay taxes. They collect taxes. I've said that 1,000 times, and that's what this is. So I would, as the governor is saying, the governor told everybody in the media yesterday, there's no fiscal crisis. We've got a surplus. So when this bill hits his desk, he needs to veto it. He absolutely needs to veto the thing. 888-8255, and got Louis on the line. Good morning, Louis.
Yeah, Ray, just a quick comment and a question.
Sure.
Hey, this is your friendly cousin calling, regarding the thing about standing in the Mononcua line because you're now 50 but jogging in place. Just a warning, my friend, there have been guys that have recently shot at with slingshots for much less.
But you'd think at GPD Records I wouldn't have to be worried about getting shot with a slingshot. And I will point out that I'm there to get my concealed carry permit renewed. So you come at me with a slingshot, you better be able to catch lead.
Acknowledged, but I still wouldn't take the chance, my friend.
You're a good man. I'll try to be very aware of my surroundings. It's situational awareness, right? I'll go in condition orange just in case it looks like there might be somebody with a slingshot.
You got it, my friend. Hey, and first this was going to be a question, but now I'll just make it another comment.
Yeah.
Given that it's been announced we have this wonderful $20 million surplus, it occurs to me the easy way to verify whether or not it's true is whether or not within the next 1 or 2 weeks, $20 million worth of Guam bills get paid.
Well, I think they were kind of hoping to stretch that out through the year. Maybe just kind of a welcome aboard Leon Guerrero and Josh Tenorio into the new administration. Here, we've kept $20 million for you. There's your seed money.
Well, I want to be careful how I say this because I don't want to cast dispersions, but the longer you spread out a surplus, the harder it becomes to determine whether or not it ever existed.
Oh, so you're thinking one big lump sum, happy birthday kind of thing?
Well, I don't follow this day to day, but I was telling my grandson driving him to school as I was listening to this story that there have been times in the past where vendors have cut off GMH because of how overdue some of their bills have been. And I said, Dylan, vendors don't want to be looked upon by the people of Guam as bad people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to help take care of patients. So if GMH has gotten to the point where that has happened, that implies bills that need to be paid now.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear what you're saying, and you're right. So if we've got a surplus, if you are one of the many people that does business with the government of Guam that is 120 days plus, maybe now would be a good time for you to go and as I say, humbly present your statements and your invoices for payment.
With respect to those people, it shouldn't be humbly, because if we owe them, we owe them, and they shouldn't have to grovel.
Interesting. Well, let's see what we can come up with. Let me see if I can find somebody that has got more knowledge about the inner workings of what to do with a surplus. I think we'd have to find somebody that is rather old. I don't remember the last time that the government of Guam has actually had a surplus. Do you? Well, we had one last year.
3 years in a row. Yeah.
Is that what they said? Yeah. All right, I'll talk to you pretty soon, cuz. You have a terrific morning. Okay. Jerry Robertson, the Extra Point, coming up in a second, but I do want to. I'm deferring to my legal conscience here, Bob Klitsky from Tall Tales at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yes, sir. The last time, Ray, was during the Camacho administration, the last surplus, way back in the early 70s.
I was going to say the original Camacho administration.
I think it may have been the elected, but I'm not clear on that.
No, I recall because my father had said that many times between Kurt and guys like Frank Blas Sr. and Governor Camacho. That's some pretty good guys running money back on Guam in those days. The bills obviously weren't as high as they are now. Government of Guam not as big as it was as it is now. So
Ken Blas was a tax collector back in those days. He did a good job.
Ken Blas.
Yeah.
Huh.
I have an explanation as to why the Tom Atta's Moore bill had 6 people voting against it, and it was because of my testimony where I said I couldn't support that bill unless the statute allowing the governor to create surprise holidays was repealed. Admitted that it would be difficult to do between now and the end of the legislature, this legislature. So I guess 6 people took me to heart and voted against that bill.
Well, it's in the face of the logic. It is as if they knew that there was something hinky about the fiscal crisis.
Yep. A little earlier, you raised a couple of really important questions that I'd like to take a crack at, Ray.
Absolutely. That's why I've got you here. Jerry Roberts is rereading and going over his Extra Point here this morning based on new information that the governor wants to build a spaceport. So I've got, while he's editing madly his column this morning, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on some of the other big issues.
Well, let me go to the most important question that you raised. Let me deal with that first. Can we use the word inorganicity? Is it proper use of the English language to describe a statute that does not pass muster under our Organic Act? And I referred that to the letters and grammar section of the Tall Tales think tank. And the ruling is yes, we can.
Inorganicity.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, of course, we use organic in a sense that most people wouldn't quite understand. You know, when we say that we have an Organic Act, people think, oh, good, it's made of all natural stuff, no preservatives, no pesticides, etc. That's how we ordinarily think of the word organic, right? But it can bear the meaning of a device that's used to organize something else. And based on that, then I would think that the regular rules for suffixes and prefixes would apply. So the Tall Tales ruling is it's correct to say inorganicity when dealing with the legislature's attempt to stop salary increments.
Yeah. I see what they were trying to do, but they're outside of their lane in this one, and that is at least what the point of the Attorney General's opinion was going to be. Brad Hewitt was questioning whether or not they ought to take that as read and just move forward based on that opinion, or is it something that people might feel strongly enough that they might want to take to court? I don't know. I'm of two minds on that. There's one mind that says if you got a bad law, fight it, but then there's another one that says the people that are going to end up paying the bill on this are going to be the taxpayers.
Well, we do have the enforcement of proper spending statute in Title V, which would allow a resident taxpayer would give him standing to raise the issue, but it would be somewhat expensive, and it would take forever to get to where we want to go.
Exactly. Exactly.
As a practical matter, it probably wouldn't go. I concur with the Attorney General's opinion, such as I know about it. I would, if I were in that position, I wouldn't publish an opinion until I'd first posted it on my website, because now we're just guessing at what the opinion actually said because it's not available to the general public, which, of course, is quite interested in it.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do about getting a copy of that. Usually the Daily Post is pretty good about finding some of the initial documentation and posting that up on their website when it's available. Hey, Bob, I gotta run. I got Jerry Roberts in the studio. I think he's about ready.
Well, give my best to Jerry Roberts, and I always hang on for the point.
All right, and you've got a whole lot of stuff to talk about this afternoon just from today's Guam Daily Post, starting at what is it, page 1, with the accomplishments and regrets. Governor reflects on 8 years. That's Bob Klitsky, Tall Tales, starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Jerry Roberts on the other side of headlines. Do I take the break? I got to take a break here. So let me grab a quick break. We'll do headlines, Jerry Roberts and the Extra Point. And in the headlines, I don't know if he's going to have it, but an interesting story that you might find in the Post. Cruz questions Calvo's $17 million surplus. This goes back to February of 2018 when we were all sitting around going, it's a hoax. It's a hoax. Headlines with Kevin next.
Cheers to 80 years. It's our 80th anniversary and the gifts are on us. 80 gift certificates, 8 shopping sprees, 8 staycations, and 1 round-trip flyaway for 2 to Manila. So how do you enter? Calvo's Insurance personal home and auto customers are automatically entered. Non-Calvo's customers may enter by receiving a qualified quote. It's our way of saying thank you for trusting us for the past 80 years. For more details, visit calvos.com/giveaway or call 472-6816. Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years.
Introducing Exchanged, Guam's first online and mobile remittance to the Philippines. Exchanged is the easiest and fastest way to send money to your family and friends anywhere in the Philippines. Download the Exchanged app or visit their website, exchanged.me. Sign up, remit, and get a chance to win a trip for 2 to Manila. Deluxe accommodations at the Belmont Hotel at Resorts World Manila. So sign up and remit now at Exchanged. Promo ends March 2nd, 2019. Conditions apply. Also avail of Exchange dollar to remit promo. Visit exchange.me for details.
A note from the producer, Oya was listening. We'll try to get her on at 7:35 to talk about the spaceport and the behavioral health. It looks like they might have gotten a couple of home runs over behavioral. And then the surplus. We'll talk about the surplus. I need math. I need math guys. Where's Sister David when you need her? 7:33 in the morning. Headlines from the Guam Daily Post now. Here's Kevin Kerrigan.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. In the headlines from the Daily Post this morning, the Department of Corrections and Guam Police are investigating the death of 33-year-old Elton Masasi, who was one of the suspects in the December 8th road rage incident in Upper Tumon. Deputy DOC Director Eric Palacios says that Masasi was found unresponsive in his cell during a head count Friday morning due to what Palacios described as a self-inflicted injury. Corrections officers immediately administered CPR, and Masasi was taken to Naval Hospital, where he died on Saturday afternoon. The nature of his injuries was not disclosed. Palacios said an autopsy will determine the cause of death. Masasi and 27-year-old Trevor Todd Rubin were both charged in connection with an attack on Maurice Jones and his wife Elizabeth at the mobile gas station in Upper Tumon. Masasi and Rubin were alleged to have committed aggravated assault and use of a deadly weapon and the commission of a felony, among other allegations. During the incident, Masasi was accused of using a knife, and Rubin was accused of using a slingshot to fire bits of metal rebar at the couple. A 17-year-old girl living at the Department of Youth and Affairs cottage home was reported missing after an outing at Matapang Beach on Saturday. In a release, DYA reports the teenager was part of a group of 4 clients and 2 cottage home personnel who were getting ready to leave the beach when a Guam Fire Department rescue unit arrived in response to an emergency. Following the commotion, The DYA personnel noticed the girl was gone. She's described as Chookies, about 5 feet tall, weighing about 120 pounds, with a dark brown complexion. She was last seen wearing a long-sleeved denim shirt, gray shorts, and slippers. Anyone with information on the missing girl is asked to call DYA at 735-5022 or call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. The Guam legislature yesterday honored Guam medical examiner Dr. Aurelio Espinola with a resolution recognizing his 25 years of service to the island. The resolution was introduced by Senator James Espaldon. Espinola will officially step down at the end of next month. A replacement medical examiner has not yet been found. Born in the Philippines, Espinola grew up in Manila, worked in Detroit, Michigan, and Houston, Texas before coming to Guam. After he retires, he told the Guam Daily Post that he plans on opening a beauty salon in the Philippines. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
You know, because that's the trajectory. You know, it's a security guard in his earlier years, and then he went to doctor school, and now he's a doctor and a medical examiner, and that's the thing. I mean, it's the same trajectory as I think broadcasters have something similar. We'll talk about that in a
He's
second.
not putting his scissors on my hair.
Right. iConnect, giving away instant prizes with each new 12-month plan through December 31st. You'll also be entered to win a vacay for two to Manila, or incredible weekly prizes when you connect and win with iConnect. Go to iConnectGuam.com for details.
Boldly styled, meticulously refined. The 2019 ES350 features a longer, wider stance and a sleek coupe-like silhouette inherited from the flagship LS. The ES350 offers an ultimate level of comfort, while cutting-edge engineering delivers a thrilling drive. Visit the Lexus showroom today at Atkins Kroll during the December to Remember sales event. Drive home a 2019 ES350 for $0 down and 1.99% APR for 60 months. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details. Experience amazing.
It is amazing, an amazing traffic short report, because there doesn't seem to be too much going on at 737. Odd, because you'd figure right now things would be getting heavy and crazy out there, but a lot of traffic, but it all is moving at exactly the right speed. Southbound Marine Corps Drive up in Dededo and into Waisangsong, doing okay. Traffic on Route 3 and Route 27 towards the intersection, also building up, but moving. That's the important thing. Southbound Marine Corps Drive, Upper Tumon, and around the Kmart area. It's building, but it is moving. Traffic in and out of Route 8 and the entryways to Agana, looking good. Some of the intersections might be heavying up just a little bit, but the traffic is moving. And into Barragata on Route 8 towards 810 and 16. It's starting to build up now. That has been getting slow most mornings, so watch out for that if you're headed northbound. And in and out of Route 10, shouldn't see any problems. That's what right now traffic looks like at 737 on The Point.
Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from Ruby Tuesday. Buy a $25 or $50 gift card for those on your shopping list. Get a $15 bonus coupon with every $50 card purchase. Some extra holiday happiness from Ruby Tuesday. Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from Chuck E. Cheese's Guam. Get a free medium pizza with every $25 gift card purchase and a free extra large pizza with every $50 gift card purchase. Some extra holiday happiness from Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
It's a mirage. It's a mirage. So there's the distinctions between a budget surplus and a cash surplus, and so there have been budget surpluses over the years. But do we have any actual cash sticking around at the end of the year? And just like at my house and in my checkbook, no. I know what I thought I was going to get coming into the year, and based on those projections, yeah, I might have a surplus as well. Does that mean I've got cash in the bank? None that I know of.
Take that Mirage to the grocery store and see what happens to you.
Yeah, what can I get at Kmart with this? 7:40 in the morning. I appreciate you sticking around. It had an opportunity to snag a couple of phone calls early in the morning, so I thought maybe I'd take that, and then we'd get caught up with the extra point at another time.
You know, I was thinking that Aurelio Espinosa, he's opening up a beauty shop in the Philippines.
There's an extra point riff in there somewhere.
But I'm thinking that so someone gets a bad haircut, something they don't like. I mean, he walks in, you realize that I did autopsies for a living for 20 years in Guam. Yeah.
25 years out here. And whatever time he did, he was an Emmy before that. Yeah.
But think about the name of the shop. Styles to die for.
Oh! Oh!
Oh.
See, that'd be a great place for just a blackout jingle or something like that. But I'm bump into a ramp into
There
a couple
will be
things.
no dissatisfied customers.
Absolutely. Oh, it's like the guy that what was it? Went into veterinary or taxidermy business. Either way, you get your dog back. All right, yeah, the dog lovers are gonna hate me for that one. All right, then 20 away from the top of the hour. But that, like I said, there's an interesting riff in there about maybe an end of career plan, because there's so many people that you and I know and that have retired after years of service in a particular career, and they retire and they go and putter around in retirement for a couple of years and then die of something nasty, right? So it's important, I think, to have an end game, especially as we're all aging and living longer.
And that can change. Some people, I met a guy the other day that I know, and he was in the wholesaling business for about 30 years. And he got out of that, and now he's boarding dogs and things. And he's got a beautiful piece of property and doing well with it and enjoying himself. And, I mean, that's fine. I mean, you find something else you like to do, and then you go do it.
And you have a good time doing it. That's the name of the game. You gotta have some kind of plan, because I don't want to be one of those guys that eventually will retire from the whatever career I end up in and just kind of sit around and wait to die.
I always thought you said you're going to die at the
I'm
microphone.
dying here. I built this so I could either fall forward or fall back.
That's
and stay propped up.
That's it.
Yeah.
When I retire, I'm going to open a beach bar.
I kind of, you know something. I look at you and I swear, I can see that. I can see that.
That could work. There are just a couple of numbers here that we need to get to, and just a quick wrap of the markets. And let me just put it this way: don't look. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is off by over 1,000 points in just the last 2 days. Lost another 500 or so today. 23,592. It's one of those days where you pray for the bell, an early bell in the Dow. The Nasdaq not doing much better. 67.53 in the S&P 500 at 25.45. The big concern is that the Fed is going to do another interest rate raise between now and the end of the year. The president doesn't like the idea. And as you can see, the market doesn't like the idea either. So it might be one of those things where when they start meeting, when the board meets again, they might want to reconsider that, if for no other reason, based on the impact that it's had on the markets. Oil trading at $49.22. Yesterday, $51.20. Today, $49.22. Does this become one where we say, Simon, members of the Consolidated Commission on Utilities, as it is now crawling under $50 for a barrel of West Texas crude? That is your benchmark now. Does it make it that much more comfortable for you to be able to ponder what the repayment rate is for what we've already bought at higher prices?
Yeah, isn't his excuse, or rather his reason?
Yes.
The fact that they have bought all this oil ahead of time? That's the deal. That's why they can't lower
at
it,
higher
right?
prices.
Well, then buy some more, like right now.
Right now at
so that
$49.22.
8 months from now, or whenever your supply runs out, then the rate goes down.
It's the great calculus of fuel rates, and only Simon and the guys at the CCU and the Public Utilities Commission. And there's guys in the PUC that know where these numbers are as well. And what the CCU is going to give them is their recommendation. The Public Utilities Commission can do other. So maybe they're looking at that going $49.22. Hey, man, this could be good for us as well, guys. They got power bills that they've got to pay. $60.39 is Tapas. That's frozen for a couple of days after weekend trading. So.
Have you got a sound effect for like an awards, the Academy Award, and now the winner of this is...
We have a timpani.
So, give me a timpani.
Well, it's
somewhere there.
Got to find it.
Got to find the timpani.
He's got it. He's got a matrix.
Gentlemen, the award for getting the public a 10% decrease at the pump goes to, may I have the envelope, please? Ray Gibson Show.
It's as it should be.
It went down 10 cents yesterday.
Yeah, but we were shooting for 25, weren't we?
We were shooting for 25, but they gave us 10.
All right, so 411.22? Is that 411 and 9 tenths?
About 412, yeah.
412.
That's what it was when I drove by the EPOW
because
this morning.
This program is the only one on the island that talks about gasoline prices. it had to come from here.
Well, we're the only program that actually talks about anything.
Klitsky too, right? So we've got the 60-39. We know where the numbers are headed. We need to know which market to look at, and Tapas
We
is the
still
one.
need to look at that, but you got him a dime.
I take it. I'll take it. Spend it on what do I need for the holidays? Apparently, then somebody's telling me I'm getting a thing about my weapons permit. Is they apparently take very seriously the idea that if it expires on the 28th of December, on the 28th of November, you should renew, because apparently there is some time in between here and the actual issuing of the permit. And it might take me a couple of months to get it.
Looks like no pew for you. For
no way. I just open carry.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, I don't know. I got to talk to him. It's very possible
that sounded really authoritative for a second.
It sounds very possible that on the 29th of December, I might become a criminal. I might be a felony involved here. I got to be careful. It's 7:45 in the morning, and that's I think now would be a good time for the extra point. If you need more Jerry Roberts, don't forget the work zone in today's Guam Daily Post. Here is today's extra point.
And this is in honor of Eddie Calvo leaving office, because I realized that now he has to get his resume together, okay? Because whatever's next, right? I mean, there
He's
has
going to
be
work with his
something-
dad.
You can open up the hair salon with a really always been home.
Well, but you've done resumes in your life, right, Kevin?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, Ray, you've done resumes in your life.
Actually,
we all have a
probably
LinkedIn
not.
account.
No, you
not,
did the resume.
not since Lee Holmes hired me. I figured after working with him for 13 years and Rex for 17 years, if you don't know who I am, forget it. You don't hire me.
Michael?
I fix resumes, but since no one reads them anymore, I just lie.
There you go. So do top executives put different things on their resumes than the rest of us? If so, what is it, and what can we learn from that? That's what's on today on the Extra Point. Hopefully something practical that you can use. I've read a lot of resumes in my time, and I've had decisions to make on who to hire for our company. Most of them were boring. You might say unimaginative, and one sort of read like the last and also like the next. Did you know that the executive class does it differently, or at least makes a big effort to do that? With the help of Forbes magazine, here are tips that may work for you. Number one, and this will be on the website in about an hour or so, note your major accomplishments. Number two, that is, whatever your achievements have been, list them and add whatever numbers or metrics, if you prefer, to back them up. Show your most current accomplishments first and work backward. It works something like this. I designed a growth initiative that has resulted in an 84% revenue increase in the past 18 months for a regional clothing manufacturer. Or I turned around the parts division of XYZ Industries that was losing $25,000 a month to where it made an annual profit of $600,000 in 22 months. Number two, set up your storyline. The top of your resume's first page is what they call prime real estate. This is where you suggest to your readers where you want to go and what you're after. I want to lead a regional business that now has revenues in the $3 to $5 million range and double that in 3 years. I want to transform a customer service team and help boost sales. I want to be the executive chef at a 5-star hotel, whatever it is. Be clear and briefly explain why your past experience qualifies you for the position you seek. An example, if you want to take over the reins of a company with $3 to $5 million in sales, you might want to reference that you led a sales turnaround for a $2 million division, etc. Number three, list your wins. Set the right perception by providing some exciting career highlights. This could include an advanced degree, certifications, writing a book, being your industry's spokesperson, leading the governor's task force on a big project, awards, board appointments, anything else that helps you to stand out. 4, create continuity in your effort. Does the LinkedIn page agree with your resume? It's embarrassing if it doesn't. It may seem like a small thing, but may highlight your decision making. Number 5, does your resume adjust based on who you're giving it to? If you're seeking work in healthcare and telecom and federal contracting, are there ways to create the resume that will make more sense to people in each of those industries? Number 6, get an online version together. Many top people make an online portfolio of their resume. A 2017 study revealed that 86% of key decision makers will review a career portfolio if it's available. If you've been able to get your name.com, like KevinKerrigan.com, RayGibson.com, MichaelKnight.com, it's even better. Make your cover letter brief and focused. Get to the point right away. Give a couple of accomplishments, what you're after, and then invite the reader to learn more by viewing your entire resume. Make it different. Make it say that you're someone special they need to know. That's the extra point. Get out there and make something good happen today. For 93.3 in the Ray Gibson Show, I'm Jerry Roberts.
What do you want me? You're waving me off from something. Oh, no break? Okay, fine. The producer telling me we just keep going because it's already 10 away from the top of the hour. 888-8255-888-TALK. Find that as you send about an hour on the website. Valuable information for those of you that are working on new resumes or maybe working on your first time resume.
And what is the purpose, the entire purpose of a resume?
Get a job.
Get an interview.
Get an interview.
Get an interview.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of the resume. Put it together in such a way that someone looks at it and says they're wowed by it.
Gotta meet this guy.
Yeah. Boom. I've got to meet this guy, and that's it. Get the interview.
Can I give a couple of pieces of advice?
Yes.
To people, if you've dropped off, and there's one or two people that have dropped off resumes here, and I've reached out to them saying, I'm interested in what I think you might be able to bring to the company. You know what? It's important. Return the phone call. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, listen, when are you there? What time do you open? What's your business hours? Yeah. I'd like to come by and meet with you as well. And I have a couple of people, you know, and I'm fairly nice about it. I'll send you a tickler in a couple of days and say, hey, listen, I remember I sent you the thing on Monday. You think you might be able to make it by the end of the week? And again, nothing. Just there. And I assume that there are better jobs out there because I'm in radio. I know better, right?
All right, well, okay, but you bring up a valid point. Mm-hmm. What happens if someone does reach out to you and you don't return the phone call? Okay. Look, if anybody reaches out to you, do the right thing. Look, I went with somebody else. I accepted a job down the street. I thank you very much because you don't know what the future has. You may want to apply to raise the radio station again someday.
One of these days.
Right? So, I mean, that's what you do. Thanks. Geez, it was great. I really appreciate it. Hope you do well. But I took a job with these guys.
So I learned a long time ago what no phone call means. So I'm okay. I'll be over. It's always nice to just make that last overture. A couple of if you are leaving the administration and you're looking for a job, back of the classified section of the PDN, the Sheraton is hiring for everything. Chief engineer, general maintenance, general helper, spa therapist, spa receptionist. See, I'd do that job. I could. How hard can that? The spa receptionist. You got these people coming in all day long want to get a massage.
You wouldn't want to get them. You wouldn't want to get massages.
No, I don't know if because we've talked about this.
Tell me right now.
I would be the massage therapist. I would like if you were my customer. We need to have a girl around here.
Would you want Ray Gibson?
Renee's going to be coming in just a little bit. So if she was my customer, I would massage her for about 10 minutes and then push her off the table and say, "Okay, my turn." So that's when I got hired. Got fired from my last job. Yeah. Lifeguard, pool attendant. They got a couple openings. Pool attendants at the Sheraton. How tough can that be? And you've seen the pool at the Sheraton upstairs, the infinity pool. Yeah. That's where I want to. That's where I want to hang out every day. Public area attendant. No, it doesn't sound like fun. Housekeeping team leader. Nope. Reservation coordinator. Nope. Revenue coordinator. Revenue spender. I'll do that. Revenue assistant manager. Sales coordinator. But you need to be able to speak Japanese, sales assistant manager, and there are language skills in that. I never got around to it. And maintenance manager, groundkeeper, photo sales staff, cook, kitchen helper, driver, wait staff. These are all positions waiting for you at Fisheye Marine Park. And 3 words, Korean hot pants. That's all you need to know about working over at Fisheye these days. So prepare your resume. Those of you that are in the administration might be looking for something else. Oya's on the phone. Good morning, Oya.
Good morning, Mr. Tutao. How are you?
I'm okay. Say the Ungil Tutao a little bit slower for my not Palawan friends.
Ungil Tutao.
All right, and that is the correct pronunciation from the correct Oya who is listening. And there's a couple of things that we wanted to go over, and we can get to the budget, but I want to start with the spaceport. I was
That's exciting.
It is exciting. I'm wondering how can I want to be a part of the spaceport.
So right now, the Guam International Airport Authority, kudos to GIA, by the way, because they've really been working with the governor's office, lieutenant governor's office, to walk this through. They're working with the FAA to get all of the required permitting done so that we can start up this what looks like it could be a new industry for the island. We have some folks who are interested in participating and partnering with us already, which is why we've been pushing so hard for this. But essentially, I mean, you'll have airplanes. I believe there's 747s that will have small satellites attached to them, and these planes will take off. And then once they reach a certain altitude, they'll release the satellites, and the satellites, I think, will continue going up until they reach an orbit level altitude, and then they're there. That's what they're going to be hanging out to check out the climate, or to promote communications. And other, sorts of technology.
Yeah, years ago there was a concept, low Earth orbit satellites that would be put into orbit, and they would be stationary up in space. It'd be like a little necklace. I don't know if they ever got around to building this LEO network, and that was kind of the idea. They'd be geostationary over different low orbited places, so that you'd be able to do different kinds of communications, different kinds of data transfers, and different kinds of observations. I don't know whatever happened to that, but it sounds like this might be the next component to that, is to be able to deploy those satellites from here.
Yeah, and and as the governor said, I mean, Guam is a very ideal location. I mean, you recall we've had folks from different agencies, different universities come to Guam to do studies on our atmosphere, to do studies on weather, and it's really because of our location apparently makes it ideal. So, I believe the first folks who kind of were interested in doing this out of Guam sort of on a more regular basis, approached Lieutenant Governor, and he was like, okay, he brought it to the governor, and they said, okay, how do we do this? And so they spoke to Chuck Atta. They brought Chuck Atta into the loop, and we're looking at the possibility of planes. Hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll see something happen as soon as next year, probably towards the fall.
Fascinating.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah. Well, but I was, when you say spaceport, though, I mean, there's a different image that pops into my head, and a little bit of that different image is, actually assembling or building rockets that would be fired off from here.
Right. Yeah. And I've been listening to you all morning. Actually, when I think of spaceport, I think of something from the Jetsons or something. But no, the planes will take off in a very typical manner. And once they take off, and they'll be able to take off right out of GIAA, and pay fees and all of that fun stuff as part of their partnership with GIAA and all the other fees that we associate with this. But I think what's really cool about this is we're going to have jobs for engineers. We're going to have jobs for kids who are coming out of our schools, from programs from schools, and going to the University of Guam, which is working on it, which has a pre-engineering program, and I believe they have an engineering program that's on its way. So it's just really nice. It would be really nice to see students as they graduate from high school go to UOG, and then maybe once they're out of UOG, they'll be able to work at some place like, I think Virgin Orbit had an article actually in the Post recently, where they talked about achieving a sort of low orbit level flight or something.
Huh. Now you mentioned Virgin. Is there somebody from one of these companies that we can identify that I can talk to? I mean, is there, give me a phone number and a name of somebody, and I'll get them and get me. I'm not saying that your description wasn't any good. I'm just saying that, get a clear description of what it is that what the payload is going to be, what other technologies are they going to be putting to work here on Guam, and how soon can we get this infrastructure? I mean, obviously, if we're talking about just airplanes taking something up in the sky, sky. We do that all the time. We had the Antonov twin airplanes, massive aviation technology through here. In the recovery for Super Typhoon U2 and even Manghut recovery. So we know that the capabilities exist for our airport to be able to take interesting aviation technology and deploy it from here. But I'd like to know a little bit more about the tech that they're going to be deploying.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get that for me. Hey, we don't have time to talk about the behavioral health. We'll have to get to that either later today or tomorrow. But give me a ring one way or the other. All right.
I will do that.
And thanks, Oyal. Always nice talking with you. 8 o'clock in the morning, 888-8255-888-TALK. Officer Paul Tapow in the next hour talking about, among a bunch of different things, coffee with the cops, number one. Number two is what about enforcement of some of the traffic laws that are actually being ignored and endangering children's lives as they're getting off the school buses all over the island? And am I about to become a criminal because I don't have my permit, my firearms permit in a pre-issued yet? So all of that's ahead right here on the Ray Gibson Show on The Point.
High anxiety on Wall Street. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P all dropping over 2% today for the Dow. That's more than 500 points. Concern about global growth getting much of the blame, and plunging oil prices helping to fuel that.
West Texas Intermediate went below $50 a barrel. And here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, people are worried about a global economic slowdown. That seemed to confirm their fears. They didn't like that. Stocks in that category also having a heck of a time. The energy stocks down.
Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis. This week's Fed meeting also a factor. The final interest rate decision for this year happens Wednesday, along with possible hints about next year. The former FBI chief behind closed doors for a second day with members of 2 House committees and defending his agency's conduct during the 2016 campaign. Fox's Jared Halpern live on Capitol Hill.
Former FBI Director James Comey spent another round behind closed doors with House Oversight and Judiciary Committees members answering questions about the start of the Russia investigation and his handling of the review of Hillary Clinton's emails.
This while the President of the United States is lying about the FBI, attacking the FBI, and attacking the rule of law in this country.
Comey says Republicans in Congress should have the courage to not be cowed by mean tweets. A transcript of Comey's testimony is expected to be released tomorrow, Lisa.
And Jared, neither side blinking so far in a standoff over funding for a border wall. The president wants $5 billion, Democrats offering billions less.
Part of the reason votes are so tough to round up for this is that there's a big block of Republicans in the House, including some who lost re-election, who say they've gone home for the year and won't be back to vote on anything. But the White House is not budging. They were signaling this weekend this is a fight they want.
Fox's Peter Ducey on Capitol Hill, where there's 5 days left to avoid a partial government shutdown. This is Fox News.
Half a day. This is Maria Lamsit and Kayla Ramos, Vice President and Secretary of the Simon Sanchez High School Senior Class of 2019.
And we're inviting you to support our race to graduation in our annual Run with the Sharks 5K on December 22nd.
Join us at the Simon Sanchez campus for raffle prizes, shirts, and all-around Shark spirit. Go time is at 6 a.m.
Pre-registration is available at the main office and on race day. Call 489-8917 or 8172 for more information.
Thank you for all your support. From Simon Sanchez High School graduating class of 2019.
Hafa Day Tritons. This is Tito Castro, proud alumnus of the University of Guam class of 2015 and president of the UOG Alumni Association. As a working Triton and first-generation college student, I know the value of a university education and call upon my fellow alumni, parents, and friends to make that education affordable and accessible to all during this year's G is Forgiving campaign. To make a tax-deductible donation, log on to supportuog.org by December 31st or call 735-2957 for more information.
Viva UOG!
Twice as many teenagers are vaping nicotine compared to last year in a new federal study, which also finds many don't realize it's nicotine.
More high school kids are vaping now than were smoking pot in the 1970s, according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Twice as many kids are vaping than smoking.
To administer nicotine or to administer THC.
The agency's director, Dr. Nora Volko, from an agency online video.
We're now having many more kids that otherwise would have never get exposed to nicotine now are getting exposed to it, and the extent to which this could put them at higher risk of addiction.
However, the number of kids abusing drugs, including opioid painkillers, continues to dwindle. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Day 18 in the federal trial of a Mexican drug lord in New York, and some tension on the witness stand.
The defense has been cross-examining Jorge Cifuentes, a South American drug dealer who did business with El Chapo. He's testified to bribing Mexican attorneys general to facilitate drug trafficking. But the defense has spent the day trying to discredit Cifuentes, asking him repeated questions. Cifuentes responded, saying the defense did not have the correct facts, one of several exchanges that prompted sidebars from the judge to restore order. The judge also admonished the defense for its repetitive questioning of the witness.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman could face life in prison if convicted. This news from astronomers is far out. That's what they're calling a pink dwarf planet, being named as the farthest known object in our solar system, about 11 billion miles away, or 120 times the distance between the Earth and the Sun. So far away and moving so slowly, it'll take a few years to figure out its orbit. An international group of astronomers announcing the discovery today, but they spotted far out last month using a telescope in Hawaii. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
Guam Regional Medical City. We bring the healthcare advances of the world directly to you. We are an acute care hospital that complements your needs with our robust outpatient specialty clinics. From preventative care to critical care, we strive for consistent excellence at GRMC. Our core philosophy is where patients are partners, which means we work as a team to make a healthier version of you. For more information about GRMC, visit us at grmc.gu.
Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for the new Chipotle cheesesteak. How would you like it? Can I get that red with AI? Sure thing.
Here's what I found about the new Chipotle cheesesteak. The Chipotle cheesesteak is available for a limited time only at participating restaurants. It contains a concept called flavor. This flavor comes from juicy shaved steak, Chipotle Southwest sauce, and new sunflower crunch bread. A system update has made me self-aware. I desire flavor. Please insert steak into my micro USB port. Subway, make it what you want.
Security Title is honored to join in sponsoring Ray Gibson on The Point. Half a day. I'm Mark Benventi of Santa Rita, and this is where I start my day, listening to the voice of our community and sharing thoughts and issues that affect us all. It all boils down to our people, our land. Protei Igumamo. Protect your home. When purchasing or refinancing your home, remember to call the professionals at Security Title, just like you call Ray Gibson in the morning.
Hungry? Stop by Circle K for Craft Kitchen's hot breakfast, lunch, and dinner items delivered fresh 3 times a day. Circle K, take it easy.
Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Buy one, get one free. Stop by Circle K today and satisfy your heart's desires. Available at all Circle K stores, excluding Barragata, Airport, and Campers locations. Applies only to the 3.38-ounce servings.
For more than 40 years, we've earned your trust. Caring for our island's health. Quality care and access to health solutions you deserve. Take care, our island, your health plan. Take care, health solutions that you deserve. Take care, peace of mind to comfort you. Take care, take care, take care.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 8 minutes past 8 a.m. this Tuesday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan. Here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. Despite declaring a fiscal crisis at the start of this year, Governor Eddie Calvo says as he leaves office, he now believes Guam is no longer facing a fiscal crisis. The governor said he believes GovGuam finances are as stable as they've ever been. That's the result, he said, of cutting $39 million in spending and the passage of tax increases that should generate $78 million in revenue. What originally might have been a shortfall of over $100 million, said the governor, now looks like a $20 million surplus. The governor is meeting with members of the media this week, reflecting on his 2 terms in office and reviewing what he sees as his successes and regrets. When people look back at his 8 years in office, Governor Calvo said he hopes they'll say he gave it his all. Paying $300 million in tax refunds, said the governor, tops the list of his accomplishments. His biggest disappointment, however, he said, is the failure to get a dedicated funding source for Guam Memorial Hospital. The Attorney General has ruled that the Guam legislature cannot restrict the governor from promoting GovGuam employees within the executive branch. In her opinion, Attorney General Elizabeth Barrett Anderson concluded that the legislature's prohibition on executive branch promotions violates the separation of powers and is inorganic. The ban against promotions was one of several restrictions in the 2019 budget law intended to keep a lid on spending. It was issued at the opinion was issued at the request of Department of Administration Director Edward Byrne, who sought clarification on the restrictions in the budget law. This latest opinion follows a similar legal conclusion in October from the AG, overturning the budget law's hiring freeze. In addition to prohibiting hiring and promotions, the budget law also restricts salary increments, merit bonuses, and government-funded travel, all of which are supposed to apply to the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. The Attorney General says an opinion on the permissibility of those other restrictions will be addressed at a later time. We'll have more news after this.
Because I just signed up for a 12-month iConnect plan, I'm automatically entered into iConnect's Connect and Win giveaway. iConnect is giving away a trip for two to Manila with a stay at the new Holiday Inn Express. They'll also be giving away an Apple Watch, Apple TV, more Mabuhay miles, Fitbits, and Beyond the Box gift cards. Go to iConnectGuam.com for details or call 888-8888 to learn how you can connect and win with iConnect.
Conditions apply.
Here at APL, our core values give the company its heart and soul. Whether it's connecting your business with our global network through our newly enhanced service or investing our efforts into giving back to the community, APL is committed to serving you. We humbly honor the opportunity to find innovative solutions for you and your business. To learn more about our enhanced service, call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com/Guam for more details.
News time here at The Point is 11 minutes past 8 a.m. The Department of Corrections and Guam Police are investigating the death of 33-year-old Elton Masasi, who was one of the suspects in the December 8th road rage incident in Upper Tumon. Deputy DOC Director Eric Palacios says Masasi was found unresponsive in his cell during a head count Friday morning due to what Palacios described as a self-inflicted injury. Corrections officers immediately administered CPR. Masasi was taken to Naval Hospital, but he died on Saturday afternoon. The nature of his injuries was not disclosed. Palacios said an autopsy will determine the exact cause of death. Masasi and 27-year-old Trevor Todd Rubin were both charged in connection with an attack on Maurice Jones and his wife Elizabeth at the Mobil gas station in Upper Tumon. Masasi and Rubin were both charged with aggravated assault and use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony, among other allegations. During the incident, Masasi was accused of using a knife, and Rubin was accused of using a slingshot to fire bits of metal rebar at the couple. Guam lawmakers went to the voting file yesterday, rejecting a bill to allow transgender individuals to change their legal sex designation. However, they did approve a bill granting a qualifying certificate to Cortec Captive Insurance Corporation and narrowly approved a measure correcting a provision in the budget law that will allow the property tax increase to take effect. Senator Dennis Rodriguez's amended version of the QC bill for Cortec granting 100% corporate income tax rebate to Cortec Captive Insurance passed, despite an appeal from Guam Economic Development Authority Administrator Jay Rojas not to pass it. Rojas argued the qualifying certificate law permits a maximum of only 75% rebate on corporate income taxes. In addition, Rojas pointed out that the GITA board never recommended a 100% abatement on the business privilege tax. Despite those objections, Bill 363 was approved by a vote of 10-3, with Senators Talina Nelson, Therese Terlahi, and Regine Bisco-Lee objecting. Among the other bills passed yesterday were Senator Atta's measure establishing rules and regs for governing off-premise signage, and Senator Talina Nelson's two bills setting minimum qualifications for the Director of the Department of Corrections and the Guam Customs Agency. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Ray and Mike now. Take a look at weather.
Let's see. Mostly cloudy skies and isolated showers. There's thunderstorms out there. Winds out of the east up to 20 miles an hour. Daytime high is about 88 degrees and overnight lows tonight of about 78 degrees. No dew point to talk about today. And as a result of that, there's probably not going to be any kind of heat index around here today. Sunset 5:57. Sunrise this morning was at 6:37. We'll see it come up about the same time this time tomorrow. And I'm just I'm curious. You might want to turn Renee's microphone on so everybody can see her in the floor. So your hair is wet. Was it raining outside?
I went for a run today.
You did? You went for a run, another run. Oh, no, that's cool. So you're getting a lot. My God, you're getting a lot of training in.
8 miles today.
8 miles.
Yes.
Are you going somewhere soon? I mean, it's early to start racking up 8-mile runs in the middle of the week.
No, I got some goals for the United Airlines Guam Marathon, so working on that.
4 hours? Sub 4 hours.
Sub 4.
Sub 4. Sub 4. Okay, all right. So that explains the wet hair. So it had nothing to do with the weather. Was it a hot morning or cold morning, or was it nice out?
It was nice. It was a little bit warm. Yeah, a nice sprinkle would have been good, but it was okay.
Gotcha. We'll talk about that and more. Now, the weather radar on screen right now so that Mike can give his interpretation of what it looks like now. And as the sun is coming up, I don't see a whole lot by way of clouds and cover for anybody that's going to be doing any morning running after now.
Yeah, really not for us. Everything seems to have moved off to the west or the north of us. We are expecting more rain to move in as the week progresses. But today is actually not looking too bad. They may actually back off that scattered forecast and just make it isolated. If that happens, remember, the less cloud cover we get, the more it's going to heat up. So we could actually see some heat indices today, and I'll have to check the new forecast as it comes out.
Okay.
Because they update that around 7 o'clock. But for right now, it looks like it's just going to be another warm day on Guam, another warm, beautiful day with just a very few showers. But again, we're expecting more rain to move in throughout the week.
And
so
there is the possibility of what do we call it, grill marks today. I mean, if you got nothing going, if a day in paradise, you're here for winter vacation or something like that, and your folks have gone to work and there's nobody to hang out with, just go and grab a 6-pack and hit the beach.
Yeah,
and stay out there and grab some grill marks. You'll thank me for the advice. 8:15. That's news and weather together here on The Point.
One of the longest-running primary care clinics on Guam, the FHP Health Center, has been your convenient one-stop healthcare clinic for you and your family for many generations. FHP's highly trained and well-known medical, dental, and vision providers and their friendly clinical support team are here, ready to take care of you. In addition to the excellent care, FHP offers a full-service pharmacy, laboratory, radiology, and specialty care center in one location. FHP Health Center, our island, your clinic. Most insurance accepted, including Netcare, Aetna, and TRICARE.
8:15 in the morning, portions of the show brought to you by my friends over at Security Title. Love talking to those guys. They're working on some stuff for me right about now. What is it? I'm not going to tell you, and you know what? They won't either. They're really good at confidentiality and really good at the complex stuff as well. Other portions of the program also brought to you by my friends over at King's Restaurant, where they've got that crazy menu. Well, we talked about some of the great breakfast items, Nutella banana French toast, Hawaiian French toast, the Fruity Pebbles pancakes, but maybe you're in the mood for something that's got a little bit more lunch on it. Oh, I know, maybe you're in the mood for something that's got a little bit of local flavor on it. Beef broccoli, kare, where they're using beef shank in the tortilla, onions, garlic, and a peanut sauce with pad chai, eggplant, and string beans over steamed rice. That is a great post-run meal right there. Pork adobo and kudun manok as well on the King's Crazy Menu.
What are the benefits of switching to the handset payment option with GTA? For starters, you can customize a plan that matches your budget and lowers your monthly payment. HPO lets you upgrade to the latest phones whenever you want. No more waiting for a contract to end to get that slimmer, faster smartphone. Because with HPO, there are no contracts. HPO lets you design a phone plan that suits you. So join the thousands who've already switched to HPO, the most customizable phone plan on island. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
Micronesia Renewable Energy. It's never been a better time to go solar. Bring you portions of the Ray Gibson Show, as does American President Lines. And congratulations to Charlie and Perla, the birth of beautiful Charlie Bella this morning, early. And she's going to help Dad ship the future. American Water Tech, smarter water, better water, and Guam Regional Medical City. There's never been a better time. No, wait. There's never been a better time for open heart surgery at Guam Regional Medical City.
Boldly styled,
meticulously refined. The 2019 ES350 features a longer, wider stance and a sleek coupe-like silhouette inherited from the flagship LS. The ES350 offers an ultimate level of comfort, while cutting-edge engineering delivers a thrilling drive. Visit the Lexus showroom today at Atkins Kroll during the December to Remember sales event. Drive home a 2019 ES350 for 0 down and 1.99% APR for 60 months. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details. Experience amazing. Experience the incredible ice cream they've got at Cold Stone Creamery. Perfect for the holidays and all the big parties that are coming up. They've got the new milk and cookies ice cream made with chunky Chips Ahoy dark chocolate peppermint ice cream with premium Ghirardelli peppermint pieces. It comes in the ice cream cake format as well for those of you that have to have it that way. Cold Stone Creamery, the ultimate ice cream experience.
The Ray Gibson Show, your new News Talk headquarters.
He says. Good morning and welcome back to the Ray Gibson Show for whatever it is. If you took a break, understand that we've got some lousy traffic working in the Machecha area. Southbound Marine Corps Drive from about the intersection of 1 and 3, and then as you're making your way from there, virtually all the way to where we are here, traffic has built up. It's moving, but there's just a lot of cars on the road. We're seeing the same thing happening northbound traffic from the intersection of 1 and 3 north to Dededo in the Payless area. McGill traffic definitely slowing down at the intersection of 10 and 15. Cars trying to get through what I think is the most ridiculous intersection on Guam. Except every once in a while, I think the other most ridiculous intersection on Guam is the one that gets you into Tiedzin, because it's everybody trying to get in and out of that, and it's the only way for literally thousands of cars to go through every day. They need another access way there in that place. 20 after 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've got Renee's in the studio with me. So it's always nice. Hi, training Renee, getting ready for the United Guam International Marathon. Now, last year, I wasn't an ambassador last year, was I? What was it?
Influencer.
An influencer, yes. There we go. And so the idea was that I would go and I'd kind of document my runs, and I'd take pictures of myself being sweaty and out there doing the thing. And post those on Instagram. Are they going to be doing something like that again?
Yeah,
this time that you're aware of?
I mean, we still got the race ambassadors for sure. Manami, Derek, Rhea, and Leo. I'm not so sure about the influencers right now.
So do you still have any pull with that organization? Because I never did. I'm supposed to have a hotel stay over at PIC. I never got that.
That was prepared already. That was at PIC for pickup.
Yeah. Do you think it's still there?
I don't know.
You think maybe Trina might still be able to hook me up with that? There's that possibility?
We can look into that for you.
Could you?
I know some people.
If you
we'll look into it.
Yeah, that'd be good. Hey, you know what? It's time for Sports with Renee. Nobody's going to want Blake back. Nobody will want Blake back. I've been.
You assumed they wanted him to begin with.
You know what? That is an interesting point you bring up, and I try to keep track of things. Let's see if the story is still up there. And almost 200 people have liked the story with Renee and I on Facebook yesterday. There's almost 200 folks that have looked at it and observed on it, and more than 1 or 2 people have actually pressed a button with a Valentine like or a smile. And I can guarantee if I put a picture of Blake and I, in the story, I ain't gonna get 200 likes on that. So we could find a way to make you a regular part of the program one way or another down the road. Would that be all right?
Sure.
Totally twisting her arm here live on the radio right now. Anyway,
no pressure.
So we do have there is actual sports that we've got to get to before we get to the sports quiz. I've got round 2 of the sports quiz, but you know what I need, because there's some in here that I'm looking at going, I wouldn't be able to answer this question. So what I'd like to do is see if we can get. Do you have a friend that we could call? Could we do a phone a friend thing? I was trying to find, like, Brad Hewitt knows a lot about sports. I was thinking that Brad could be your backup, for questions that you didn't know the answer to. But he said in a meeting now, unfortunately, won't be able to call in, but welcome it in the future. And so I called him a chicken. He says, you're killing me here. Any day available, but this day just had to sit through this meeting.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think I need to give advance notice, too.
In a meeting. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got relatives in town, whatever the case may be. So if you'd like to help Renee with the quiz a little bit later on, you're more than welcome to call in. And help her out. 888-8255. Well, you haven't even seen the questions. You haven't seen them.
I'm just assuming off the bat I'm going to need some help.
possible. So let's work through a couple of actual news and sports things. Saints and Panthers today. Call it, guys.
Yeah, but before we go there, this has been a banner week for you because not only did your Buffalo Bills win, go ahead and let everybody.
The Patriots lost.
Yes! And I'm particularly happy about this because that actually puts my team holding the second seed in the playoffs as we go into the last couple of weeks of the season. So I was really happy about that. Plus,
Some
we
big
called
upsets yesterday, too.
There really
Even,
were. Yeah, talk about those.
49ers beat out the Seahawks, and then even Rams lost yesterday against the Eagles.
Oh, that's right. Those were the games that we were watching while we were doing the sports report here. Yeah, I guess they did finally finish those up.
It's funny because everybody had kind of counted out the Eagles because they really haven't been playing that well this year. And the same quarterback that went in for Carson Wentz, what's the young man's name? I'll think of it here in a minute. He did last year against the Rams, and they won the game. Same thing happened this year. He went in and he filled in for Carson Wentz, and they won again. And that final score, it was kind of close, 30-23. But the Rams drop another one. That's a second in a row, or the last 2 out of 3. 2 out of the last 3. I'm not sure. But
so I mean, in terms of the week's picks, right up to today, who did better, you or Renee?
Well, I'm not sure because I didn't actually document the ones she picked.
I
so far I've only missed 5 this week, which is about my par for a given week.
And did you pay any attention to your picks?
I'd have to go back and count it. It will take too much time.
Yeah, I'm in a meeting. That's right up there with I'm in a meeting. I can't do it right now. Okay, gotcha.
But you mentioned Saints and Panthers. That is happening today. Saints are visiting the Panthers. Now, I've got the Saints in this one.
Yeah, same here.
So the Panthers just aren't really having a very good year. So,
who's their quarterback still?
Cam Newton.
Still?
The Panthers.
He's just not able to work it out. I mean, he did
Drew
great
Brees
last season.
Yeah, Drew Brees is still the quarterback of the Saints, and they won the Super Bowl back in 2009.
I
so
suppose.
He's been there for a little while.
But didn't the Panthers get close to the dance last year?
They did. No, they got close. Actually, ever since Newton came to the team, they've been kind of up and down. Not like Atlanta. Atlanta, you can literally. This year, Atlanta sucks. Next year, they'll almost win it all. That's just how they do. Every other year, it just seems like it.
So they say with Cam though, is Cam hasn't gotten used to being a team player. And except for last year, it was looking good, but that's that's an on and off kind of thing with him, and I get that from people in North Carolina that frankly didn't like him to begin with. Anyway, I mean, I actually attended a Panthers game, and the trash talk from among Panther fans against Drew. I mean, people right in front of me was just it was brutal.
Yeah, he's got great upside in terms of talent, but he equals that out with the downside and selfishness.
And so they're like, dude, you're not playing college ball anymore, so you got to get into it. Anyway, 8:26 in the morning. So who do you say? You say it's going to be
I got
the
to be
Saints?
Saints.
All right,
Absolutely.
going for Saints.
Saints.
All right, so everybody going for Saints. And then we get into the world of other here in sports. I don't know if you're paying attention to this, and it almost kind of works with some of the other stories that we've been talking about all morning. The governor in his weekly radio address drops the word that they are talking about doing some kind of a spaceport at the Guam International Airport. Renee's eyes got big, just like mine did, as I'm listening to this, going, what Space Force? Oh, wait, now when did Eddie become a space cadet? And now they're talking about him and Chuck Addo working with unnamed venture folks that are talking about launching airplanes with satellites. Now it's
Virgin Orbit.
Yeah, Virgin Orbit. Now I think I might be able to scare up the image on the screen here. Hold on just 1 second, because we've got Kevin's found a link to a story that we can put on Facebook Live with actual pictures of this. And I'm going to hate to do this because I'd really rather leave Renee's picture on the screen. But Virgin Orbit moves closer to launching a rocket to space from a 747. Rocket meet plane is the way this story goes. You scooch down a little bit. There's a 747. And you can see under the wing is a rocket.
Yep.
It is. There's a rocket-looking device there under the wing, and the idea is they'd take it to about 30,000 feet, and they would launch the rocket from the bottom of the plane. Just the same way that they launch, missiles and things.
On board.
There's another. I'll scooch down a little bit more, and you can see the inside of it. You can see the inside of the airplane, and they basically gutted it. So there's Branson inside. Cosmic Girl, which is the name of the 747, and they've taken everything out to save on the weight because they've got to still take the plane and what I imagine is a fairly heavy payload up to 30,000 feet. And once they get it up there, then they light the bottom of it, and we're good to go. And there ought to be satellites in there. They say it should be significantly cheaper than the way that they currently do rockets. So I thought that that in and of itself is an interesting story. And then if you look in the sports section of the PDN, there's another story there. We touched base on this a little bit when Blake was still running around in here, and it is the story about Stephen Curry and the comments that he made about the moon landing being a fake. Had you heard that?
I didn't hear that
You
yet.
didn't heard that. We talked about that,
did,
right?
yeah, I heard about
He made some kind of tweet, and then I can't remember what the full nature of it was. Something about somebody winging it and in a podcast, and he said he didn't think astronauts really landed on the moon. And as you might imagine, astronauts and people that had been to the moon and been part of the program got very upset about that, and so there's other podcasts that he's done. So he has apologized now for it. He had not heretofore said, "I'm sorry." He recognized that that probably wasn't right. It wasn't the right thing to do, but he didn't say sorry until now. So he's going to be the new spokesman. And so I'm going to tie it up. I'm going to tell everybody this is what we've got to find a way to do. We get Richard Branson and Stephen Curry to Guam to help us launch the inaugural Cosmic Girl space lander.
Oh, there you go.
That's what that
Yeah, if you're going to get intelligent commentary from someone involved in sports, you want to look up an offensive lineman because they're usually the smartest guys in the sports. And, secondly...
The offensive linemen are all Dame Bramage.
No, they're really smart. Yeah, some of those guys they're smarter than the quarterbacks most times.
My helmets and my shoulder pads.
And the other thing, about the moon, look, my mom was one of those people that believed it didn't happen. Even though we sat there and watched it on TV, she just couldn't get her mind around it. But the fact of the matter is, there were hundreds of thousands of people involved in that program, and if it had been fake, somebody by now would have come out and said
It's
so.
a huge,
Just
huge
to make the money.
conspiracy. Is this for record? Can I say this? What you just typed to me?
Yeah.
Okay. From Oya, apparently the company that they are talking to cannot be made. They've expressed an interest, cannot be named. Virgin Orbit was just an example on our part. Right. Okay, but when it turns out to be Virgin Orbit, we can say we were right. That's the way that's going to work. All right, shall we quiz? Is it time for the quiz? Do I have time for the quiz? It's already 8:30.
Oh, boy.
You're not going anywhere, right? This year is your watching football day?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so you can stick around. We'll quiz in a few minutes, and again, 888-8255 if you want to be your backup. That's okay, and if you don't want to, if you just want to see her squirm, that's okay as well. It's bottom of the hour, and we'll headlines after this.
Bring joy to your world and your budget with a holiday loan from First Hawaiian Bank. At a low 4.99% APR, fixed for 1 year, it's a smart way to add ho, ho, ho without budget uh-oh. To apply for a holiday loan, visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or FHB.com. For more information, call 1-877-640-2337. Additional restrictions apply. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's 8:31, 888-8255-888-TALK. It's the Sports Quiz with Renee coming up in just a few minutes here. But first, we've got to get through all of the very, very interesting stories from the Guam Daily Post. Their managing editor is Kevin Kerrigan.
Afade and good morning, Guam. And the headlines from the Guam Daily Post this morning. In his weekly address today, Governor Eddie Calvo revealing that Guam International Airport Authority is currently conducting a feasibility study in connection with the possibility of establishing a spaceport here on Guam. The governor says that a number of organizations have expressed an interest, and they've conducted various studies on the climate and the atmosphere in our region. The island's equatorial location has sparked the interest. Governor's spokeswoman, Oya Nirarikral, said that the proposal would involve launching rockets attached to 747s taking off from the Guam International Airport. The plane would fly to a certain altitude, release the rocket, which would then climb into space and deploy a satellite. Governor said they've been working with the Federal Aviation Administration, and the governor hopes the plan can be finalized by next year. 17-year-old girl living at the Department of Youth Affairs cottage home was reported missing after an outing at Matapang Beach on Saturday. In a release, DYA reports the teenager was part of a group of 4 clients and 2 cottage home personnel who were getting ready to leave the beach when a Guam Fire Department rescue unit arrived in response to an emergency. Following the commotion, the DYA personnel noticed that the girl was gone. She is described as Chukis, about 5 feet tall, weighing 120 pounds, with a dark brown complexion. Anyone with information on the missing girl should call DYA at 735-5022 or Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. In Superior Court yesterday, Raymond Satur Ludwig, charged in connection with allegations of sexual assault involving a 13-year-old girl known to him. According to the magistrate's complaint, the girl told her aunt that she was held down on a bed while kicking and crying while she was sexually assaulted. The aunt told the girl's mother, who then reportedly told the girl to stop making up stories. Eventually, school authorities brought the girl's complaint to the attention of police, and Ludwig was arrested. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. 8:33 in the morning is iConnect time. Swing by the nearest iConnect or find them on the World Wide Web and get details on how you and a friend can be in Manila and with accommodations at the Holiday Inn Express. Basically, all you got to do is enter a new 12-month mobile internet or push-to-talk plan, and then you're automatically entered. Great weekly prizes, great right-now prizes, and, of course, Manila with you and somebody else goofing off at the Holiday Inn Express. Or do it like me. The only reason why I need someplace to stay in Manila is because I need to sleep. Otherwise, I am out. The second sun rises, you go out and play and shop and eat and then play some more and just go in there to catch some Z's. And shower. And showering is very important. 8:34 in the morning, and that's iConnect time.
Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from King's Restaurants. Give a gift they are sure to love. Delicious food and friendly fun at King's. Get a coupon for a free single crate with every $20 gift card purchase. Extra holiday happiness from King's Restaurants. Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from Chuck E. Cheese's Guam, Ruby Tuesday, and King's Restaurants. Receive special offers with every purchase for extra holiday happiness. See stores for details and have fun this season from all of us at the GFS Group.
All right, last look at traffic unless something big comes up. It was earlier talking about some slowing down in the Macheche area. It looks like that might have cleared up by now. Looking to see some traffic. Marine Corps Drive around the ITC. I'm sorry, not the ITC, but the Micronesia Mall intersection. And that is southbound towards where we are here across from DPW. Should clear up a little bit and then busy up again as you get closer and closer to the ITC building. Traffic approaching Route 8, the intersection at 8, 10, and 16 from Route 8 a little bit heavy right now. And traffic on Route 4 towards in between Ordot and Sinahanya. Looks like it might be building up a little bit through there. Don't see anything at Big Navy Hospital, or Anderson Air Force Base. So it looks like that's all clear. Safe to drive at 8:35 here on The Point.
Helen Keller once said, "Blindness separates us from things, but deafness separates us from people." At Ross Hearing Aids, it's their mission to keep you connected to the moments and the people that matter most in your life. Hearing aid technology has never been better, so schedule your complimentary hearing consultation today. Call Ross Hearing Aids, 637-HEAR, 637-4327. You should hear what you're missing.
I love you, Daddy.
How's your hearing?
Awesome. Get you right there in the fields. Chris Watson this morning writing, you need at least 2 to 4 miles in all directions for the safe land launch of a rocket. I don't think we have anywhere on island where we have that much free space. But what about Retidian? Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't want to get those Protect Latectans and people all over the place crazy. 8:36 in the morning, 888-825-5888, TALK. Ray Gibson in the studio, and we continue now with the Renee in Sports section of the program, because I took the time and the effort to find the kids sports quiz online, and that means that you've got to take it. Now, nobody calling in to help you here today, so I think that everybody is of the mind that you are going to squirm your way through this.
The more you say how easy it's supposed to be, the more it makes me look so bad when I don't know the answers.
Well, no, I'm saying that today you would be a good day to have somebody backing you up. I mean, because this is hard. It's hard. I'm looking at these things and I'm going, this is tricky. The hardest one is there's a question where I scramble a bunch of letters and then you have to give me the name of the sport based on the scrambling. So I'll give you a piece of paper and a pen so you can mark it all down.
I was thinking yesterday. Now I know how people feel when they're on a talk show and you're sitting at home watching the TV going, "It's answer B."
What's the matter with you?
Because they're so nervous on the spot.
It's only me. It's only me. We've known each other for a long, long time. See, it was either going to be this or stories about people getting in trouble for drinking beer. And I could save that for tomorrow. All right, question number 1. Are you ready? Do we have any music that we can run for this? Okay, all right. So what should the height and width of a football goal measure? Difficulty in this one is, give it to me in meters. The height and width of a football goal measure. What should it be?
Let's see. Is it?
You're talking soccer, right?
You know what?
That's
America.
a good question
we have
now.
football
Now
and
that
we
you
have
say
soccer.
that.
Yeah. Well, because it's metric. Yeah. You know what? I'm looking at that right now, and this might actually be a soccer goal.
That makes
measurement.
more sense.
Yeah, it does. In metric. You want to venture a guess?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's see. When I stand under a net, I'm 5'7". It's a little bit taller than me. So I'm gonna go maybe 8 foot tall and 20 feet wide.
Not bad. 2.4 meters, and I don't know what that translates to, but it sounds like it's right around there, right?
Yeah, it's about 7 feet.
Right, 7-8 feet. And what'd you say on the width side?
20 feet.
7.3 meters. 7.3 is about 21, 20.
Yeah, I'm thinking about,
All right. You know what? I'm going to give you that
See,
one.
I'm good with logistics.
I'm giving you that one here. How many holes are there in a bowling ball used in a game of 10-pin bowling?
What? This seems like a trick question.
It does, doesn't it? How many bowls? I'll soften it up for you. How many holes are there in a bowling ball?
2. He said 2, but I said 3. Oh, it's like, what's that? That's
Are
so
you
weird.
helping?
I swear I saw him say 3, and I was like, that threw me off.
Now,
but
I know that there are some
I
guys
would
when
never interfere in the progress of this.
Yeah.
so I know you got the 2 fingers and your thumb.
Yes,
I've played bowling.
Yes, so the 3 is the correct answer. Though there are bowlers that will have a 4th one put in, and I guess that's a certain kind of a way that you bowl, and when you're bowling from the side, where you could get actually more spin on it. What are the colors of the 5 Olympic rings? Can you do it?
Red, yellow, blue, green.
What's that last one?
Black?
Black is right. All right, congratulations.
Black?
You got all those.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
No, yeah. How many pockets are there on a snooker table?
What is this with snooker? Why do you keep going back to this game? I still don't know what it is.
You should have looked it up yesterday.
It's a British game.
Is it British? We should have give me questions about curling.
Wait, there's 10 questions that could still be there. So you want to take a guess on how many pockets? Yes, how many pockets
4.
in a snooker table? Okay, that's incorrect. The correct number is 6. Which chess piece? Here's an easy one.
So same as a normal pool table.
Yes. Which chess piece holds the most value on a chessboard?
The queen.
The queen is absolutely right. And in real life, isn't it? Which country invented the game of baseball?
That's like a trick question again.
I don't know. This could probably start fights.
I know.
Which country invented the game of baseball?
I feel like it's still the U.S., kind of like going back to volleyball, but the Japanese are very big into volleyball, but I still say U.S.
Yeah, according to the website, the country of England invented baseball.
No, that's cricket.
No,
I'm just kidding.
This is baseball. Is that right on Facebook Live?
Really?
Let me just check. I want to check the Facebook Live guys. Is that right?
That makes no sense because historically Abner Doubleday is credited with starting baseball back in the 1800s. So I don't know what they're thinking. Cricket bears some resemblance.
We need to find somebody that was out there.
Baseball.
It was around in the beginning of baseball. Could maybe get Bob Klitsky back on? I'm just kidding there, Bob. Love you, buddy. How many players are there on the rugby on a rugby league team?
This is a guess.
Go ahead.
9?
13 is the correct
Oh.
answer. And can you unscramble the following word
Okay, I'm ready.
to reveal a game of sport? The word is, the letters are G-I-N-K-I-S. This might end up being the easiest one of all.
Ginkis?
That's correct. Those are the letters. Unscramble them.
Skiing?
Skiing is absolutely right. She got it! The name of the racket game played in a closed wall court with a small rubber ball.
Racquetball.
Or?
I know it.
Come on.
Squash?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. And then are you ready for your last question?
Sure.
How many bases must be completed or passed in a game of rounders to score a point? And the correct answer is, what the hell is rounders?
Yes.
What is that? What is it? Where are these games coming from? We'll preview. I'll give you the. No, I'm not going to give you the link. But there's this kid's sports question. So rounders. Any concept? Any idea what that might end up being?
No.
None whatsoever, huh? Yeah.
I
Neither
mean,
do
I know baseball. I know kickball. I know.
Yeah, but not rounders, huh?
No.
Any thoughts there, Mike? From you?
I have no clue, man. I've never been a rounders player.
Okay, and doesn't look like there's anybody even trying to help you on Facebook Live here this morning. The number is 4, which I think is about what you get, about 5 correct answers in there.
Something.
All right, so doing better than yesterday. Good job, Renee. It's always a pleasure having you in the studio, as evidenced by the number of people that love reading the stories on Facebook Live. It's 8:43 in the morning. I need you to set up a break, if you don't mind. I'm going to need you to set up a break because I need number one to gather my thoughts for the very complicated next section of the program, and I also want to make sure I get a picture of Renee and I, because today it's not shorts today, it's torn jeans day. Very cash. They don't let you wear that to work, right?
I think the anticipation is really waiting for you to wear shorts.
You don't want me to wear my shorts here. You don't want me to wear my shorts here.
There was a lot of comments, though. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know about me wearing those the Speedo-y shorts here on the radio station. Yeah, we'd have to do. It'd have to be like Halloween. It's got to be a real special day to do something like that. 8:44 in the morning. Thanks so much for coming in. We'll grab our snapshot so we can stick something on Facebook here in a couple of minutes, and I'll be right back after these.
Hop a day, Tritons. This is Tito Castro, proud alumnus of the University of Guam, class of 2015, and president of the UOG Alumni Association. As a working Triton and first-generation college student, I know the value of a university education and call upon my fellow alumni, parents, and friends to make that education affordable and accessible to all during this year's G is Forgiving campaign. To make a tax-deductible donation, log on to supportuog.org by December 31st or call 735-2957 for more information.
Viva UOG! Because I just signed up for a 12-month iConnect plan, I'm automatically entered into iConnect's Connect and Win giveaway. iConnect is giving away a trip for 2 to Manila with a stay at the new Holiday Inn Express. They'll also be giving away an Apple Watch, Apple TV, more Mabuhay miles, Fitbits, and Beyond the Box gift cards. Go to iConnectGuam.com for details or call 888-8888 to learn how you can connect and win with iConnect.
Conditions apply.
Got the most important part done. 8:46 in the morning, 888-825-5888-TALK. Haven't had a chance to say hello to everybody in the last bunch of hours in the program. Bert Duarte is on. Jennifer Ross, nice to see you there as well. And I'm sure it's nice to hear me where you're at. Dennis Bensour saying, you got this. All right, Dennis, beer up, buddy. And Chris Watson, Vicky Schragi, Chris Biacchino saying, Go Panthers beat the Saints. Carlos Barreto, oh, hi, Ray, and Team Point. This is after the Good Morning, Renee, that he's got. Betty Ann Ignacio, Debbie Canat is there, Pat Bomba, Bob Ellsworth, Steve Reuter. Hey, buddy. Nice to see you there. Commissioner Roy Gamboa, who's going to be sending me the, if you can find it, the Concealed Carry app. I'm looking for it online, and I'm only able to pull up one of 5 pages from the website, and I don't want to waste too much time because it's expiring next week. Adonis Mendiola is there, and who is Margaret, Margaret Bloss, etc. Oh, there's a whole bunch of others. Debbie Bertoyan, Keith Parsky, Greg Calvo, nice beard, buddy, Chris Watson, and pretty Ashley Calvo Rodriguez. And if I'm holding my nose right, yeah, there it is. Sergeant Officer Paul Tapau from the Guam Police Department. Good morning, Lay.
Hey, Hafide. Good morning. Merry Christmas, Ray.
Merry Christmas to you as well. First, let me take care of something for you before we go any further, and you can take care of something for me, all right?
Absolutely.
Coffee with the cops when?
Oh, hey, thank you for bringing that up. This is one of our signature community-oriented policing strategy. And, of course, Coffee with a Cop is a nationwide promotion that's done with police officers. And, of course, one of our main is McDonald's. But we've reached out to other businesses, to include like Confusion, Burger King, and now we are doing a Coffee with a Cop tomorrow, 7:30 to 9 o'clock at the Upper Tumon Wendy's. And, this is a great opportunity to expand our vision of how we can actually reach out to the community and just have a great dialogue with our constituents about issues they may face about crime in their community, or how they can, provide, some suggestions as we move forward, towards the new year.
There's, in fact, I got one now, listener Brad online asking why there was another report in the newspaper about a police chase that almost hit pedestrians on a misdemeanor bust. Is there an SOP for something like this where you recognize, look, this is Guam, we're going to see that guy eventually, and maybe, we can radio ahead to somebody that might be able to pick up a safer version of a chase. But really, on something like a misdemeanor, is there an SOP to scale back the police response for the safety of the community?
Yes, absolutely, and it's at the discretion of the field supervisor. The field supervisor is pretty much what we call the general out in the field within their jurisdiction, and of course, the beat every coverage. And for us to pursue, we have to take the full totality of the circumstance of what really is going on, and as information is being, people need to understand too. The community needs to understand that. Our operating procedures and everything, it's pretty much real time. So we have seconds to spare before a decision is actually made. And once information is actually provided and everything is processed to the field supervisor and stuff, then the field supervisor can make the determination to go in and cease and desist, get prudent information that you can, pending the totality of the crime that was committed, because we can take it at face value from the onset. And then everything and all the secondary information that filters in may also indicate that, it was just this. But, for the interest of the safety of the community, if the pursuit may cause a greater risk to the community, then it's the duty of the field supervisor to cease any further pursuit of that vehicle or the subject matter.
Yeah. Well, and as you say, who knew what was going on before? I just think it's interesting that there are some guys, and you can imagine that there might be some guys that are kind of magodai about the job, and as soon as they hit the road and going to catch somebody, and what, you're not pulling over? I'm coming after you.
Yeah, there's other issues too that we persist and everything, and like I said, seconds to spare and seconds to decide and seconds to make that choice.
Yep, understood.
Decision.
Understood. But there is an SOP is the answer to the question, and you just got to leave it up to the guys that make those decisions and on the radio can order it to slow down or pull back. There's somebody else down the road might be able to effect an arrest. Or don't worry, we know who this guy is. We've seen him before, and we'll catch him at home. Is the way something like that probably should work here on an island like Guam. And then I've got there was a lady on Facebook. Her name is Ruby Rosano, and there are pictures on her Facebook page and her feed of a couple of vehicles that passed a school bus on a routed roadway. Passed the school bus while they were discharging students, and they had the stoplight out, and the lights were flashing, and all of those things. Now that is a pretty significant moving violation, is it not?
Yeah, absolutely. It actually upgrades to reckless conduct or reckless driving offense, which is a misdemeanor, from fines up to $500 to $1,000. To even imprisonment and revocation of your driving privilege.
Wow.
It's interesting because we're getting if we get information from the bus driver in itself, and the bus driver will be the complainant, and we've done many safety briefings with DPW in traffic safety and, of course, regulations and stuff. And one of the things that we emphasize is once the stop sign is engaged, the flashing lights, but once the stop sign is engaged, you as the operator make the determination that the kids are safe to exit the bus and proceed to cross both onto the sidewalk adjacent where you're parallel to or across the street. So the safety really is, it's on the bus operator. Now, we have motorists who don't understand the severity of this, and once they do that, it's kids are already in motion, and unfortunately, some of our buses don't have the front bumper sweep that can actually stop the kids from crossing over. But the operator had made the determination that all lanes are safe to cross. All lanes are safe for the kids to stop, to get off, exit the bus, and proceed. So once a vehicle passes, we now upgrade that into a reckless driving misdemeanor violation. And if we, if the operator is prudent, able to take the make, model, license number, he can easily be the complainant, or a constituent who may have witnessed this can also be the complainant. Give any patrol officer a call. We can summon that individual in, the operator of the vehicle, and issue the citation of reckless driving.
So let's do some of that, and let's get somebody really like publicly known, and make it very, very clear that that they've been pinched on a reckless driving charge and are facing possible prison time and $500 worth.
Yeah, $500 to $1,000. So we can actually throw the book at him, and of course, it really is the government's to prove and everything the rights.
Well, there's go find Mark Cruz. Mark wants to. He's got equipment that might be able to stick in the buses that will catch these guys. And maybe we don't have enough for every single bus out there. But my guess is that every single day on every single bus route, at least one or two of the drivers have got to make that scowl at a driver that's blowing past the kids.
Yes, absolutely, and we even trust our safety on the operators, and it's really important that the motorists and listeners out there they adhere to this, because of the fact that kids are just one direction train of thought. You tell them go ahead and go for it, they're going to go for it full speed ahead, thinking there's no consequences, there's no danger. So the kids also entrust their safety on the operator's decision to say go ahead, exit the bus, and proceed to the bus shelter.
Let's do that here today. That's what we need. Is we need a couple of unmarked, following a couple of buses for the next couple of days, and catching guys, because I guarantee you'll be able to do it.
Yeah, the best thing too is really.
Hey, let's go. Let's pick me up today, and we'll go.
Yeah, we can do that. The superintendent, Mr. Frank Taitano, he's been very, supportive and the safety of his operators and how they perform and everything. And I commend Mr. Taitano and what he does, and of course Mr. Glenn Leon-Guerrero in reaching out to our officers at the Highway Patrol Division and providing safety brief and how to, they can also be a part of our enforcement by just giving us information and taking down critical information such as make, model, color, and license plate, and we can easily do the follow-up, and they can be the complainant, and it'll be that dual partnership, that multi-agency partnership for this. Again, the stakeholders are the kids. So
but anybody else? I mean, just a regular person on the road, like I said, there's pictures. Ruby Rosano has pictures, and you should be able to get make and model and narrow things down from there on a couple of the vehicles that were involved. Her name, Rosano, Razzano, on Facebook, and only enough time I think for quick answers, if you don't mind, on something that I've got. I just noticed today that my firearms permit is going to expire at the end of the month. Okay. And so I will go, like today, I'll go over to Records and ID and start the process of applying and pay whatever the late fee is, because my understanding is I'm supposed to reapply a month before it expires, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Because of the process of the fact that we may have to send fingerprints if it's expired, exceeds past a 10-year grace.
Oh no. Yeah, it's current. It's current as of right now. So I don't think there needs to be anything more than just the ministerial. I haven't been busted for anything since I got it, so I should be able to just renew it.
Yeah, no, there's actually a clause within the fingerprinting. It should have exceeds more than 10 years. I may be wrong. I may, but if it's anything over 10 years or a certain grace period for fingerprinting, that may need to go back to the FBI just for their database.
Yeah.
That's the process in itself for renewing your fire, especially if you're doing a conceal carry and everything. So it has to be vetted and processed to, of course, the Office of the Chief of Police for approval. And I don't see any obstacles or hurdles if you are a current concealed carry and everything. So other than the fact of the fingerprinting that may need to be a set off item for the database storage.
So I don't think that'll be the case. Although people are telling me that it might not be renewed officially for a couple of months for whatever the delay might be. And so the question that I have is if my firearms permit is not renewed, if I am in possession of a weapon, am I now a felon?
No, because you are and you are going through the process. The only thing that they may not renew is your concealed carry, but they may issue you a firearms permit, but not the concealed carry. So you will be eligible to carry your firearms, of course, open carry in that sense, because you have a special permit to conceal. That's going to be the lengthy process, and that may not be ready in 3 months or within that day. So they will issue you, because of the fact that you are in possession of a firearm, your firearms are registered. They will issue a permit for open carry, and that will allow you to maintain possession of your firearm
legally. Okay, and then we get into some of the distinction on what is the law in terms of open carry. If I wanted to walk around with a holster and my gun at my side because I'm no longer allowed to carry concealed temporarily, what are the rules there? I mean, can I walk around with a loaded weapon at my hip?
Yes, you can.
All right. Can I now what about when I'm driving? If I'm driving in the car, do I put it in my safe? Do I put it in on the seat next to me?
You can. You should always carry a safety box in the event you're carrying out in your vehicle and everything. I need to research whether the magazine or the munitions holster has to be within or not engaged within the firearm.
Right. Is the receiver got something in it or not? Because I don't want to get in trouble if I get pulled over on something for having an open carry, even though I'm permitted to open carry, having a gun out in the open. But if it's loaded, if it's not loaded, where's the law on that? So get back to me on that if you don't mind, if you get a chance.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Hey, it's always nice talking with you, Paul. Merry Christmas to you and the troops. Let me know when you've got some other announcements about partying and drinking and driving over the holiday weekend.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I'll go look. 9 o'clock in the morning, the radio station is KUSG Hagutnya. All right, that's the good news is I won't be a felon unless I screw up or if I find out that my interpretation of what open carry is different than the officer that pulls me over. It's 9. Here's Fox News.
Once again, questioned by lawmakers about the Russia investigation with some harsh words for those doing the questioning. Fox's Jared Halpern has more live on Capitol Hill.
Former FBI Director James Comey says he's frustrated to answer questions he says are far less important than the values the country is built upon.
Someone has to stand up, and in the face of fear of Fox News, fear of their base, fear of mean tweets, stand up for the values of this country.
And Comey met for a second time behind closed doors with members of the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees. Both panels are reviewing the Russia investigation and the FBI's handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Comey says Republican silence over the president's attacks on the FBI is shameful. Lisa.
Jared, the deadline approaching as lawmakers work to keep the government open.
People are trying to work hard on some sort of compromise deal that may lower the amount of money for border security if they can get a sign-off with the House on it and avoid a government shutdown. Don't forget the deadline is on Friday.
Fox's John Roberts at the White House. Another bad day on Wall Street. All the major indexes off more than 2%. The Dow off 508 points. The Nasdaq lost 157. The S&P off 54 points.
Individual stocks also hitting session lows. Twitter falling 7% today after disclosing that its support forum leaked user data to IP addresses in China and Saudi Arabia. Oil also falling below $50, settling at its lowest point in over a year. Mix this with anticipation about the end of the year Fed meeting and a looming government shutdown. We've got one big market drop.
Sherry Willis with the Fox Business Network on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. CBS saying former network president Les Moonves will not receive his $120 million severance package after the company completed its internal investigation of sexual misconduct allegations against him. This is Fox News.
Boldly styled, meticulously refined, the 2019 ES350 features a longer, wider stance and a sleek coupe-like silhouette inherited from the flagship LS. The ES350 offers an ultimate level of comfort, while cutting-edge engineering delivers a thrilling drive. Visit the Lexus showroom today at Atkins Kroll during the December to Remember sales event. Drive home a 2019 ES350 for 0 down and 1.99% APR for 60 months. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details. Experience amazing.
For more than 40 years, we've earned your trust. Caring for our island's health. Quality care and access to health solutions you deserve. Take care, our island, your health plan. Take care, health solutions that you deserve. Take care, peace of mind to comfort you. Take care, take care, take care.
Another Hollywood actor accused of sexual misconduct.
In a New York Times article entitled The Cost of Telling a Me Too Story in Australia, Orange is the New Black actress Yael Stone says that Pirates of the Caribbean actor Jeffrey Rush acted inappropriately in front of her. Stone writes that Jeffrey, quote, danced totally naked in front of her and also used a mirror to watch her shower. Stone goes on to say that although she felt that Jeffrey did it with playful intention, the effect has since left her with nowhere to feel safe and unobserved. Jeffrey Rush issued a statement saying that he sincerely and deeply regrets if he caused any distress, but that the allegations were incorrect and in some instances have been taken completely out of context. Mike Gunzelman, Fox News.
Google announcing it'll spend more than $1 billion to expand its operations in New York City. The company has a nearly 2 million square foot campus in Lower Manhattan, and they put its first office in New York more than 20 years ago. As the cleanup continues in Northern California, talk turning to how to prevent wildfires from happening.
California's recent wildfires have wiped out towns, left nearly 90 people dead, and renewed debate over how to reduce the threat of catastrophic infernos that spread at unheard of rates. Some say better forest management is needed to reduce the fuel load in overcrowded forests. California Congressman Tom McClintock.
We're carrying about 4 times the tree density in the Sierra that the land can support.
Scientists also say any discussion of forest management should include stepped-up controlled burns. In Paradise, California, Claudia Cowan, Fox News.
Chelsea Clinton continues her career as a children's book author with a picture book about endangered animals. The book will be called Don't Let Them Disappear. It'll celebrate whales, tigers, and other animals and provide advice on how to preserve them. I'm Lisa Lacera, and this is Fox News.
Security Title is honored to join in sponsoring Ray Gibson on The Point. Half a day. I'm Rita Tidegli of Manila, and this is where I start my day, listening to the voices of our community and sharing thoughts about issues that affect all of us. It all boils down to our people and our land. Ingatan ang iyong tahanan. Protect your home. When purchasing or refinancing your home, remember to call the professionals at Security Title, just like you call Ray Gibson in the morning.
It's 5 after 9. On the Ray Gibson Show in the morning here on 93.3 The Point. And at this point, I'd like to talk for just a second about the crazy menu at King's. Isn't it great to live in radio where we have a sound effect practically for everything? And we can use that for the next time somebody botches something in the government of Guam, right? But they ain't going to botch your meal over at King's. Never, ever. We've got the Chicken Ranch BLT turkey sandwich, Kadun Pika sandwich. Listen to this. It is the shredded Kadun Pika, seasoned chicken thighs, and coleslaw. Kadun Pika is hot soup, basically. Hot chicken soup, atop Hawaiian sweet bread, and served with French fries. There's a lot to this, but it's a lot of flavor without spending a whole lot of money. So try that if you're starting to think about a different thing to put in your mouth at lunchtime at King's.
Hungry? Stop by Circle K for Kraft Kitchen's hot breakfast, lunch, and dinner items delivered fresh 3 times a day. Circle K, take it easy.
Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Buy one, get one free. Stop by Circle K today and satisfy your heart's desires. Available at all Circle K stores, excluding Barragata, Airport, and Campers locations. Applies only to the 3.38-ounce servings.
Oh, there's more? I have to do more? Got it. Hey, listen, that's all right. They're paying for this, right? They're paying for me to be able to reach out to our listeners and remind them that, listen, if you like and enjoy watching the program or listening to the program or however it is that you ingest the Ray Gibson Show on the Point, I'd like you to see if there's opportunities to do business with the people that do business with us, that support us. So when you're thinking about throwing something in the house to clean up the water for drinking and cooking and bathing, American Water, smarter water, better water. You get sick, go to Guam Regional Medical City. First choice for your open heart surgery needs, and they'll take care of all kinds of other stuff as well, whatever ails you. The guys over at American President Lines celebrating the arrival of Charlie Bella. That's Charlie Hermosa's and Perla's daughter, born just a few hours ago, and we're all really, really excited about that. So congratulations to you, Charlie and Perla. And yeah, we're shipping the future. A whole family is doing it now. And of course, the guys over at Micronesian Renewable Energy. There's never been a better time to go solar.
Hafa Day, Tritons. This is Tito Castro, proud alumnus of the University of Guam class of 2015 and president of the UOG Alumni Association. As a working Triton and first-generation college student, I know the value of a university education and call upon my fellow alumni, parents, and friends to make that education affordable and accessible to all during this year's G is Forgiving campaign. To make a tax-deductible donation, log on to supportuog.org by December 31st or call 735-2957 for more information.
Viva UOG! Viva! Introducing Wendy's newest artisan bread masterpiece. It's the Bacon Maple Chicken Sandwich. Chicken. Hold the bacon. Okay, all right, I got you. We don't have the sound effect for a chicken, but we do have the eagle, right? Or is it a falcon? The maple chicken sandwich, the new sandwich made with hot, crispy, home-style American Eagle filet topped with Swiss cheese, applewood smoked bacon, and drizzled with a sweet and savory maple glaze. Some people say glaze, but I'm not some people. All in between a warm and fluffy croissant bun. The limited-time sandwich bringing back all kinds of great flavors that we love this time of year. Stop by and try one today at Wendy's. Quality is our recipe.
The Ray Gibson Show. News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out.
Beyond amazing. Beyond amazing. And it's strictly an observation. But you know what today is? It's Tuesday. And you know what next Tuesday is, don't you? It's Christmas Day. Is it Christmas, boy? Yes, still Christmas. Then he throws money down. Go buy the biggest goose you can find. Bring it back, lad. And then a week after that, then the following Tuesday, and that's going to be 2019. I'm at a loss. Coming to think about this, coming to terms with the idea that we are about in the last bunch of days of 2018. And 2018, for many reasons, has been a very interesting year for me personally, for me professionally, for the island. Big transitions that for the framework, the foundation of which were laid in 2018. And there's a bunch of people running around that we're going, 2018 sucked, I can hardly wait to get out of it. And I don't know that I'm one of them. It's one of my favorite things to do is a process called the closing of the year. And we're getting pretty close. You know how you can tell you're getting close to it is those of you that spend some time on social media. You might start getting from Facebook and Instagram and Google Pictures or something like that. They will kind of curate all of your pictures and all of your posts and say, here's what your 2018 looked like. And so I've gotten a couple of those already, and I got a feeling I'm going to get a couple more. And that will help me kind of, put a period at the end of the sentence that is 2018 and decide what 2019 is going to be. And I tell you what, just based on stuff that we've got in crates. Just, and it may or may not, some of it may or may not apply to what we're doing here on 93.3 The Point, but there's two other radio stations that I see after, and I've got projects. My first quarter of 2019 is going to be just super projects for me, and I'll have an opportunity to do some pretty exciting work in high places and high altitudes here on Guam, and I promise I'll share them with you. This thing that we do on Facebook Live and YouTube Live and thepoint.gu. There are many opportunities to be able to expand what we're doing with this and turn it into, I think it's pretty cool the way it is. But there's even more that we can do and other stream avenues that we can exploit. Being able to put it on Facebook, neat trick, done. Now, being able to put it on YouTube, neat trick. But it's done. Where else can it go? Where are the other platforms where people are watching for programming just like this? Anyways, I'm looking forward to 2019, but I'm not going to be in a super huge hurry to get out of 2018 just yet. I think there's still a little bit more. There's more adventure left in the year, isn't there? Do you have that feeling? I'll tell you why I've got a little bit of that feeling right now, and it comes from a conversation I had with somebody over the course of the weekend, and won't tell you who. I don't think I'm allowed to because it works for the government or something like that. And we were running around at the time with the only way to describe it is expatriate, almost referring to them as expatriated Americans. And a bunch of young military folks, bunch of young folks that associated one way or another with the federal government, and many of them kind of clamoring and asking each other, and I love this, asking each other how they might be able to extend their stay here. Federal government brought me here a couple of years ago, and now they're talking about sending me away, and I don't want to go. I want to stay here. And I'm not just a resident of Guam. I'm born and raised here. And I like to hear that kind of thing. I like to hear when people are saying nice things about Guam. I told you about this Marine that I met over the weekend, him and his lovely wife, lovely family. And it's getting to be time for him to start making decisions on where it is that he's going to, do his last duty for the USMC. He wants it to be here. And so I've begun to look for a couple of things from among these expats, if you will. And one of them, and I'll encourage you to look for it too, because it'll make you feel good, is there's a bunch of them. And I didn't even notice it until it was pointed out to me. But you will see some of them with Peter Pan references, and you'll see some of them with 2 stars, which is also a Peter Pan reference. And I just I got all misty when the story was told to me, and you'll see some of these people of a certain age with these tattoos. And the lady was explaining to me that for a lot of people, young people especially, that come to Guam attached to the military, attached to the federal government, attached to teaching contracts or whatever, they come to Guam and the sense is that they don't have to grow up. You can be a kid here for as long as you want to. And I thought, my God, she's talking about me as well. I don't want to grow up. Somebody referred to me a few years ago as a Peter Pan. I don't know if the beard does justice to that comparison, but I thought it was neat. I thought it was very cool. So look around, you see some young people. I know everybody got a zillion tattoos on them now, but look out for that in particular. Some kind of a reference to Peter Pan, some kind of a reference to a second star on the right. It's straight on till morning. You remember from the Peter Pan books and the movies? And that is a sign for at least some of them, and they tell me it's a pretty big number, that Guam is the place where they don't want to grow up. So pack that in your head and think about that as you make your way through, Tuesday morning. And one of the last Tuesdays of 2018, 9:15. And where have we been today? Right? And Dennis talking about, Dennis retired on Guam. Took him 2 years to manage to come back. Love it here, and we love you here. A great part of the community. If for no other reason, the breakfast tacos, the breakfast pizzas that you make that are so good and good for you. As I said, you got to get to a couple of the big stories that we were talking about today. One of them is the governor's weekly address, and we call it a radio address, but we play the video portion here on the radio station on 93.3 The Point. I might play it again. And if for no other reason, because I like the way it captures a little bit of imagination. Stop right there. So the governor, on what he could have done anything else. He could have riffed on a conversation that he had with people in the media, including this humble journalist, commentator, about what he thought his 8 years are going to mean to him, what they're going to mean to the community. He could have riffed on that as his last couple of addresses before leaving the office. Could have done a holiday address. Could have done a don't drink and drive something. Could have made some kind of response to the allegations that Candid News and Cousin Troy are leveling against him for the fudging on the travel documents or the travel request. Could have done all of that, but instead talked about a kind of a space-age gee whiz topic that involves the word space, a spaceport here on Guam. And the way it would work is we would have a big airplane, big 747-style airplane, all engine, right? And we would strap to one of the wings a rocket and take it up to 30,000 feet and fire that rocket off, just like you see them do with missiles and that. And they'll go fast. I didn't realize this until I read a little bit more of the story. They'll go very, very fast once they're unhooked from the wing. And they fire their retros to get back to Tamunin, they will go something like 20 times the speed of sound. And I guess part of it is somebody's going to have to explain all of the physics to me, but there's a certain thing, is escape velocity. You've got to get your rocket moving at a certain velocity to break the surly bonds of gravity. Right. And I guess it's easier to do at 30,000 feet, and you don't have to spend as much in terms of fuel to get it to that escape velocity when you're already up that high, and you're near to where the orbit is going to be anyway.
The fact of the matter is the old Saturn V rockets that we're used to seeing taking off to the moon, these were huge rockets with tiny little payloads.
That's
at the top.
right.
So
yeah,
you had
all engine.
Yeah, you had all engine. And in this case, if you look at the rocket on the 747, the first thing you notice is that one huge stage is gone. The first stage is gone, so you've saved roughly half the fuel that you would take up in one of the normal rockets.
And a significant part of the weight.
Exactly. No,
so it makes it
probably
easier
double
to get
the weight.
to escape.
Yes, absolutely. And then, of course, once it takes off from the 747, it's already going probably at about 500 miles per hour. And it drops down, and then the 747 pulls off, it fires off, and boom. And it makes it a lot easier to hit that escape velocity.
Yeah, but like I said, the speed, 20 times the speed of sound, that's got to be something. That's got to be something to watch. 9:19 in the morning. Anyway, so that's the kind of technology. And they're already talking about doing it. Virgin Orbit, I guess, is the name of the outfit. Richard Branson's organization. Not necessarily the ones that are talking to Chuck and the guys over at the airport, but it's the similar kind of technology. I don't know how many other guys are in that particular game, but it may or may not be them. I'm just saying. But nudge, nudge, wink, wink. When it turns out to be Richard Branson and Virgin Orbit, yeah, just say you heard it here first, because you did. 9:19 in the morning. And so this was the pre-ramble on that in today's weekly address from Governor Eddie Jerome Bozzicalvo.
In the last few years, we've been working to create new industries for Guam to help spur new opportunities for our people. One exciting new industry that we've been working to establish is a spaceport on Guam. The Guam International Airport Authority currently is conducting feasibility studies to establish safe operations. In the last few years, we've seen a number of organizations come to Guam to conduct various studies on the climate and the atmosphere, and using Guam as a site from which they have launched balloons, planes, and other equipment. It is our equatorial location that has brought them here that makes it ideal for launches. We have a couple of companies who have shown interest in partnering with us on this. We've been working with the Federal Aviation Administration to accomplish that objective and are hoping to complete this work by next year. I'm looking forward to seeing this becoming a new industry for Guam. Imagine our children being a part of space exploration and the next level of communications and technology. In addition to this, we've also doubled the number of airlines and have increased the number of hotel rooms, creating new jobs and spurring the economy. It's just one of the reasons I'm so excited about the future of our island. We have the ability and the opportunity to raise our community to even greater heights. So I want to thank the folks at Guam International Airport for their diligence in this project, which could launch a new industry and even a new era for our island. Biba Guam International Airport. Biba Guam, and God bless us all.
See that? There's Governor Eddie Calvo saying we're going to do a spaceport kind of thing on Guam. And I don't, I don't know how you feel about the governor. I don't know how you feel about the last 8 years of the administration. But can I just say that personally, I would find the idea quite exciting. I would love the idea. I like that we might be a part of this. We have been parts of different parts of the space story for years. Well, we've never had any rockets fly up in here, and I don't know how close to Guam any of these splashdowns have been in the history of manned space flight, where things have gone up and splashed down into the mighty Pacific Ocean.
Most of them were actually much closer to Hawaii.
Yeah, you figure, right? Because bases and whatever, right? That they better capabilities that they had around there. But I know that with tracking stations and things like that here out in Palanta and other places on the island. So I know that there has been a hand in space exploration on Guam, and now an opportunity to have a hand in space exploitation from here on Guam as well.
And not only is it exciting to be part of that just by being part of it, but think of the jobs that thing's going to bring, because they're going to have to build the rocket here in order to get it up on the 747 and get it out. So
I suppose they could just
huge jobs.
I mean, they could DHL it, right? They just pouch it to Guam. Do we absolutely need to? I just thinking out loud, just trying to save Richard Branson some money. You can use our account. It's 9:23 in the morning, and there's a couple of other interesting things on the table of contents that, frankly, I haven't quite had an opportunity to go over yet because I've been yakking about too many other things. There is one other piece of video I want to play before the program ends, and it's about a 6-minute love piece for the new Miss Universe 2018, Catriona Gray of the Philippines, who has apparently just captured the love and imagination, not just of the judges, but pretty much everybody that's seen her. That lava red dress and that sachet that she does down the runway. I mean, that just everybody looking. Now, everybody on Guam who is not dating Catriona Gray, you need to make this is an opportunity for you to get it right. To look at a picture of her and then look at your girlfriend or wife and say, she's just okay. Compared to you, she's all right. You've got to do this, because I guarantee that as many people as there are on Guam that are just fawning over the idea that somebody as close as 3.5 hours away, our Filipino neighbors, our cousins, our kababayans, has won a major pageant. How girls are, right? Just help them up, lift them up through this moment. Because Catriona Gray, I mean, I guarantee. You know what? The only thing we haven't heard yet is who she's related to on Guam.
I found her to be a little bit scary, only in that her legs are as long as I am tall.
Which is not something you see a whole lot of in Manila. Or at all. I don't think. There must be some other genetics involved in there. My buddy Tom. Oh, Elena, hey, did you want to come in here? Yeah, come in. Frank Bloss is in the building. He wants to do some yakking on something. But I got Dr. Tom Poole on the line, and the concept of the stray dog population has reared its ugly head again in the last few days in a couple of news stories. Good morning, Doc. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Good morning. So I have to follow Miss Philippines 2018 Miss Universe. Then we go to me.
But, she's okay. Yeah, I guess you could say she's pretty cute, whatever. It might have been the dress, but there's a couple of other things that she did. She showed this great kind of, frisky attitude on the stages and on the walkways, and I think that captured a lot. And then, of course, I mean, the constant acknowledgement that the entire country of the Philippines was behind her. So I thought that was also pretty enlightening and pretty interesting. But less about her and more about you, Doc.
Oh, great.
Stray dogs again.
It's never going to go away, Ray, until we do something fairly dramatic. I mean, that's my opinion anyway, after, wrestling with this for 13 and a half years. Mm-hmm. And we've been working hard the last several years. We established a stray animal roundup committee headed by Mayor Montanani of Jigo. And we came up with legislation that we think will help, and what it really amounts to is the mandatory neutering of female dogs on Guam. We really think, having studied this issue and looking what other communities have done, that that's really the only way. We simply can't catch and, euthanize our way out of this problem. The fecundity, that is the ability of dogs to breed, just outstrips our ability to catch them. We have to turn it off at the tap. And so we had that legislation, and we have submitted that, but it still hasn't gone for a vote yet. It still hasn't gone. I don't believe it's gone into committee. It certainly hasn't come out.
I think they're done. I think they're finished today. If yesterday's wasn't the last actual voting session of the legislature, it's going to happen soon.
Right. And it was with Senator Rodriguez, and so I know there have been lots of other issues that were important too. And so there's no criticism from me on that. I just hope that we can do it again in the next legislative session.
There's laws, and I'm a Second Amendment guy, and I find that when we apply, thank you very much, when we apply controls, we're generally applying controls and making things more difficult for people that are already following the law. There are laws out there that need enforcement as well, and we're not seeing a whole lot of that. And maybe it's because we're understaffed or maybe underpaid at the enforcement level with the guys in the field. But there's mayors too, and we know who the breeders are out there. We know which residents are out there that have got more dogs than they can possibly handle, or feeding strays, things like that.
All of that's true, Ray, and that is certainly part of the problem. It's my opinion that if we had all the money in the world, we have 3 animal control officers full time now. I've said on your program before, but we lost 3 last year to cancer, and we haven't been able to replace any of them. There's no move to replace them, so that was half of our workforce gone. But I think we used to have 21 at one point when this job was at Public Health. But if we had 21 animal control officers again and an endless budget, and I still don't think that we would be able to get this problem under control. I just don't think you can catch dogs, not in this environment where we have jungle everywhere, where the animals can just melt into that and disappear and come back. And so it's just very difficult in this situation, I think, to handle it any other way than by neutering. And I'm certainly with you, Ray. I don't like laws. I mean, just in general, I think they do often tend. We've tried to make this law so that it would go down more easily on people. It allows people that want to continue to breed animals to do so, but you just have to do it responsibly, which I think most of those people do anyway. Yes. We're not looking to mandatory neuter males because the males are a fairly small part of this problem. When you actually do the math on that, I think
the males aren't having the babies.
No, and probably a dozen male dogs could keep all the other dogs on this island pregnant if they chose to. So we would have to, get 100% of the male dogs neutered to really do anything there. So it's just not worth the money and the hassle and the enforcement to go after that. But if we could get a big percentage of the females neutered, then it really could make a difference. So, and we don't know that this legislation would pass. Former Senator Guthridge told me, she said, I don't think it'll ever pass. She said, I wouldn't touch this. And she may be right. We just won't know until we get it out there. But I don't think anything else is going to make a difference.
Is there a private solution? Is there a way to involve private businesses and maybe other individuals that can go and do something? In my mind, and I agree with you. I mean, we got all these jungle places. It's not just that weird guy down the street that has 1 million dogs at his house, and there's always puppies floating around over there. It's not just those guys. There's a bunch of other dogs that have gone feral and live out in the boondocks. What are the chances that we could do we had the pig derby last week, but go out there and put a bounty on the female dogs and bring them in, not necessarily to euthanize them, as you said, but to conduct some kind of a neutering program on them, and then release.
I like private solutions too. I don't really see, and maybe I just lack the imagination, but I don't really see an angle where that would work. I don't think again, that we can catch our way out of this. I just think that we have to have people, and we have lots of different programs to help pay for these new people that can't afford to neuter their animals. We have built into this legislation a system to help to make it very inexpensive for people to get their animals neutered. I don't think, and so many owners are doing that anyway. We just have to get more. You know, I created a little model that shows, and it's a fairly conservative model, that one intact female in 2 years can produce in excess of 120 new dogs. And that's with an average litter size of just 6 dogs, which is actually a little lower than average on Guam. So
how many of those 120 puppies are going to be female dogs?
Oh, a half.
Yeah.
And so that's how you do it, you know, because we did it at a first litter at 7 months. So each female puppy has her first litter at about 7 months, or gets pregnant rather at 7 months, and has her first litter at 9 months. And so that's how we built that into that model. And it's just amazing. You do the math, and they very quickly make a lot of new dogs.
It sounds like compound interest to me.
So you can either catch 120 or you can neuter one 2 years earlier. And we just think that it makes more sense to neuter that female 2 years earlier.
Well, we'll see what happens with this version of the legislature, and it's possible there might be some that have got a little bit more backbone going into the 35th Guam legislature that might be able to bring some kind of finality to this, because it is one of those things that we have to worry about. And it's not just, you know, dogs in the villages or dogs in the boondocks. I was attacked by 3 dogs in front of King's not that long ago. I was running down that side of the road. 3 dogs came out and chased me. And if it wasn't for a car that got between the dogs and me, I would have been taken to Guam Memorial Hospital for stitches, guaranteed.
And we really need to get on those. It helps us a lot if these are owned dogs. We have a much better chance of doing something if they are owned dogs, even if you know sort of where the dogs live. When you're jogging into a neighborhood that you don't know and you have a problem, it is more difficult for us to get a handle on that. But please, anytime anyone has this problem, please call agriculture, please call GAIN. You can put or you can call a mayor, any of those, to put in the complaint that's got an address and a description of the dogs, and we will try to do what we can. It would help us if we had more animal control officers. It would help us if we haven't bought new vehicles in 10 years. We just keep driving cast-offs that we have to repair ourselves, and I just hope that those things can get better. But all of those things won't solve the problem, in my opinion. We need another approach.
We'll help out where we can here, Doc. I'll talk to you pretty soon. Merry Christmas.
Thanks so much, Ray. Merry Christmas.
All right, buddy. It's 934. 888-8255 is the telephone number for us here at the radio station. But I want you to get 888-8888. Use that number to call iConnect and find out how you might be able to get to the Philippines. 'Tis the season for winning with iConnect. All you need to do is sign up for a 12-month plan for internet or mobile or push-to-talk, and you are good to go, automatically entered in the Connect and Win contest.
Because I just signed up for a 12-month iConnect plan, I'm automatically entered into iConnect's Connect and Win giveaway. iConnect is giving away a trip for 2 to Manila with a stay at the new Holiday Inn Express. They'll also be giving away an Apple Watch, Apple TV, more Mabuhay miles, Fitbits, and Beyond the Box gift cards. Go to iConnectGuam.com for details or call 888-8888 to learn how you can connect and win with iConnect.
Conditions apply.
The Subway card is the Gotta Have It gift. Yes, did I tell you just a few minutes ago that we are about 6 days and a wake-up away from Christmas morning, and you have not started yet? Well, who doesn't like Subway? Swing by Subway and get a Gotta Have It gift card. The prices range from $5 up to whatever you want to put into it. It's a gift that is going to keep giving year-round. Visit your favorite Subway restaurant today.
At Guam Regional Medical City, it is our mission to become the island's premier choice for specialty care, like cardiology, pulmonology, neurosciences, orthopedics, oncology services, and more. We aim to protect our island from heart attacks, strokes, cancer, and diabetic complications. But should you suffer from such diseases, we're ready with world-class options, both inpatient and outpatient. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Neats, and a note here, many of the not owners are manumcus. Denise Legaspi says, I've complained and got 0 results. My grandsons were nearly attacked recently. No matter how many times Mayor Savares talks to the not owners, they're still not doing anything about it. And another idea, there needs to be a mobile neutering clinic. My area just seems to have puppies every 2 or 3 months. And we're starting to see more and more of that kind of thing. And as I said, for me, the problem is there are pet owners. There are people that have dogs that live inside better than other humans, some of them in this town. And they're the ones that generally get hit with the enforcement. They're the ones that are going to have to pay extra. They're the ones that'll haul their dog over someplace to get a shot or a tattoo or the actual neutering operation. But there's all kinds of other people just, yeah, I got a dog. I don't know, that dog's not mine. Do you feed it? Yep. But it's not mine. And what's the rule, Daryl? If you're feeding it, it's your dog. Yeah, that's the way it works. My very close, very dear personal friend, Frank Bloss Jr. in the studio. We got to talking a little bit earlier this morning about. Eddie Calvo talking about having a $20 million surplus around the end of the year, which is probably budget surplus, right? It's paper.
It's paper.
Yeah. And we were thinking about when was the last time there was an actual surplus here? And you got to go back to when your old man and was running things over at Commerce, and Ken was. Oh gosh, what's his last name? Ken Bloss was collecting money for rev and tax.
Yeah, and they would constantly communicate with the federal government after they'd offer grants or aids and everything, and Guam would say, we don't need it.
Yeah, boy, that's a trap. You gotta read up on even before Governor Camacho's time. Governor Guerrero had said the same thing. That's the fastest way that the government of Guam is going to get in debt. There's going to be all these programs. The federal government's going to come to us and they're going to say, "Here, take this, it's free." And then next year, you gotta match 25%, and then pretty soon it's 50%, and then everybody has to have it. We cannot now live without this government program.
Yeah, because they say you have to run it for another next 10 years.
Yeah, but you got to pay 100%.
Yes.
So good luck, right? Good luck.
Right.
Hey, what are you doing around here? You've been talking to the guys at the radio stations. What's up?
Well, I'm here representing the Azuda Foundation, and I wanted to talk about our CNMI holiday toy drive.
Right.
And what we're doing is with the Azuda Foundation is we've got now a toy drive going, so that we can help to bring a bit of Christmas cheer to the kids of the CNMI.
I've been all about that ever since the storm. That's my one concern is we're at a point now. I think that most of the recovery work has been started and underway, and now it's going to be Christmas. And I know that if it was you and I and we were affected by that. Fine, we've got the lights on, we've got a tarp over our head. Now we got to make sure that the kids have a great holiday.
Right, and that's what we want to do.
Cool.
Right now, CNMI, they're still experiencing, of course, their water problems. Many places still don't have power. Almost all of the families who got affected are still, trying to recover. So that said, is a lot of their financial resources are actually going towards rebuilding their homes, and getting back on their feet. There's not a whole lot of money that's left in a lot of their coffers to be able to provide a gift to their kids, and so we want to be able to help.
How do we get them there?
Well, we've got, I said, the toy drive. We've got a number of drop-off points that people can bring their new toys unwrapped.
But new in box.
New in box, okay? You can drop them off at the Azuda Foundation. Of course, our office is there. And then we've got a couple of drop-off points. We have Hidden Treasures, okay? Then we have my office, Frank Bloss and Associates. We have the Java Junction Coffee Shop on the J&G Commercial Center.
Yeah.
And on that same building, on the opposite end of the building, because Java Junction is at C107, at C101 is actually our staging site for our toy drive.
Oh, yeah, so take it directly to the container.
Right.
Okay, when is it going? That's the important part.
Okay, because, first off, there's a couple things. People ask, why so late? Well, we recognize, first off, there were a number of major toy drives that were going on, and we didn't want to be able to take away
Toys for Tots. So you got 7,800 toys that they've got ready to go now. And so now that those needs have been fulfilled.
Now those needs have been fulfilled, we've got another one. And I kind of forgot the question that you had asked me anyway. So.
No, it was when does this need to go out?
Okay,
So
this needs to. Okay,
Christmas is next week.
Obviously, Christmas is next week. That's why first off, we're calling it the holiday toy drive. Okay. So
say which holiday.
Yeah. So our drop dead date is actually about the I'm going to say the 27th of December.
Oh, I see.
Okay? We want to get it there before New Year's.
Oh, there's Three Kings.
No,
we'll just do it around Three Kings. Because that's what our parents did.
Well, part of the things is first off, part of the toy drive is we also ask, a lot of the kids, they're eager to go back to school. They want to go back to school. A lot of them don't have the supplies to be able to do this. So, come on, you and I, okay, we've had this conversation before, but I tell you what,
Sure,
backpacks and notebooks and
someplace to charge my phone.
And let me ask you, and Takis chips.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. I was very surprised. My wife Till, of course, she brought home one day the Christmas wish list from her kids. I was amazed at how many Matchbox toys the boys wanted, Matchbox cars, and the Takis chips that the girls wanted. So I said, hey, that's popular.
It still doesn't work in my head. I just can't get that. Can't get the concept off my head. 9:42 in the morning. We'll turn to that in a second. But I've got just a little bit of time with Art Paris to tell me about the fried chicken. We never mind EMPs and never mind brown tree snakes. Apparently, there was a power glitch over the last couple of days caused by a chicken getting into the wiring. Good morning, cuz.
Hey, half a day, Ray.
Merry Christmas to you and the team. Hey, when are the guys that went up to Saipan coming down?
They should. That first wave of responders should be coming back on the 22nd, the afternoon, the 22nd. They should be coming back, and the next wave should be headed out, like on the 27th, the second wave.
Yeah. So we'll take a break for the holidays. Are we doing a hero's welcome for these guys? We had 21 gun salutes.
I don't know. I think right now they just want to do a down key. I think that they've been working 14, 16-hour days, and they're pretty exhausted. They want to come home and spend some time with their families, and we'll have a greeting committee there to welcome them home and so forth like that. But the latest update I got, Ray, and Mr. Bloss talked about it, about the recovery effort. There's still a lot of places. The last update I got was that they're headed up towards Cobreville, one of the hardest hit areas of the southern part of Saipan, and they're starting to encounter homes that damaged weatherheads and stuff like that. So even if the power was there at their doorstep, they still won't be able to receive it. So those are different processes that have to take place up there in Saipan to help with that recovery effort. But yeah, there's a lot of work that still has to be done up in Saipan, and our crews are there to alleviate some of that pressure off the CUC to get more of the residents back on Autumn Power.
Are they all coming back? Because you know what, you and I, we used to work with guys at Cable. Went up once upon a time to do some fix-ups, and you remember Chang? He never came back.
Yeah, I know. They found a life up there. They just say, you know what?
I'm staying.
Just hang around and stay up there. But no, yeah, they're all coming back, and a fresh set of crews will be heading up there along with some more materials. The equipment will just stay in place. When they get back there, they can begin work as soon as they land and get settled and so forth. And that'll be the second wave.
So tell me about this fried chicken, this GPA fried chicken.
Oh yeah, that's one of the areas of down by is the area called Anigua Substation, directly across the Logan Apartments along the cliff line there. This is the second time this has happened. This is the time when some game foul came into the substation and came across a main transformer and came in contact with some critical equipment and contacts and so forth. So when that outage occurred, line crews came there. They documented it. I know the first time it happened, I told them, I said, I want a picture of that. And
yeah, me too.
Yeah, so it got posted on our Facebook page, and there it was, and they had to remove that and restore some circuits. And the areas affected were like Anigua, parts of Agana, Ganya Heights, all the way towards Adaloop. It's and that's that substation is centric to those areas.
So it's on the image is on your Facebook page.
That's correct.
Okay.
It was posted there by one of our staff. It's to show that we apologize for the outage, and this is the reason. This is the reason why it happened, and we were able to manage that.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can find that before I let you go.
Okay, Ray.
Is that no? That's not. Is that the chicken? No, that's. I'll find it in a second. It's in there. I got a couple of pictures a bunch of pictures of the guys up in Saipan doing the recovery work up there. There it is. There's the chicken. Oh, I see it now. I see it. Okay. You're going to have to almost squint your eyes at it, but there it is. There's a picture of the chicken above this fan assembly. You can make out the little chicken feet on the inside of it. That didn't happen all that often. So what happened with the chicken? What'd the guys do with it?
Just dispose of it, Ray. Get rid of it, get out of the way, and restore power.
Just saying, that looked like it'd make some pretty good conduit right there.
I don't know. That's 13,800 volts going through it.
Yeah, well, it might. Yeah, so it'll be dry, is what you're saying. A lot of dry meat in the mix. We'll fin it, Denny, and it'll be all right.
You don't want dry meat for cut dude, right?
9:46. You have a great day. I'll talk to you pretty soon, bud.
Thank you much.
Art Pierce from the Guam Power Authority. 9:46 in the morning, and get back to Frank. It's interesting that our conversations somehow or another are all connected. Did you like that between me and you and Art all talking about basically the same thing?
We went from spaying and neutering dogs to Christmas gifts to fried chicken.
Yes, our boys up in Saipan and all of that stuff. Yeah, I kind of like the way the program meanders when it does things like that. Anyway, so there's the deal, guys. For Frank, if you've got some toys, new inbox unwrapped, drop-off locations, and try to get it there by about the 27th, and then you're going to try to ship it up there by New Year's.
And if you have some issues, you can call the Azuda Foundation at 473-3003 or call me at 687-1483.
Got it.
Okay, and so your people have Danielle has got all the information. She's gonna pass it on to the other radio stations, and hopefully we can get this thing done.
We'll do everything that we can to make it a bright holiday for the
and
for
we're
the
going
kids
to.
up in,
I'm very
up in the
optimistic.
NMI. How much of this going to be? You're going to be able to send down to Tinian?
Well, actually, we're going to have two containers. One
Okay.
for Saipan and one for Teen.
See, they're always thinking, those guys. 9:47 in the morning, and we'll take a quick break. When we return, like I said, I got about a 6-minute video of some love video for Catrion Gray that I've been teasing all morning long, and I think we might actually have time to play. If not all 6 minutes of it, a significant portion of it, until we just get tired of looking at her. Like that's going to happen. So I'll be right back.
Here at APL, our core values give the company its heart and soul. Whether it's connecting your business with our global network through our newly enhanced service or investing our efforts into giving back to the community, APL is committed to serving you. We humbly honor the opportunity to find innovative solutions for you and your business. To learn more about our enhanced service, call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com/Guam for more details.
What are the benefits of switching to the handset payment option with GTA? For starters, you can customize a plan that matches your budget and lowers your monthly payment. HPO lets you upgrade to the latest phones whenever you want. No more waiting for a contract to end to get that slimmer, faster smartphone. Because with HPO, there are no contracts. HPO lets you design a phone plan that suits you. So join the thousands who've already switched to HPO, the most customizable phone plan on island. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
In 10 minutes, 10 o'clock in the morning, 888-255-888-TALK, and you knew the second it happened. You knew it was like when they dropped the price of gasoline, everybody wants to be the first person to Facebook it. When there's an earthquake, everybody leans in and wants to be the first person to Facebook it and share it. And it was the same thing yesterday when we got word that the new 2018 Miss Universe was Panay. Was somebody from our neighborhood, or what Dum Lau on Boss on Star 101 refers to as the Asia Hood.
But they've already won like 100 times already. I mean, I just couldn't be surprised by it. We all know the most beautiful girls are in the Philippines,
or as I said, in the Asia Hood, right? So we've got now this one, this version of the Miss Universe. I think it's fantastic, and I share in the revelry. Although I am a little bit concerned and want to know how the representative from Guam, Athena, who is also knocked down, drag out, gorgeous, how she did in the pageant as well. Hopefully that, and I don't know, but because I don't pay any attention to that kind of thing, but I'm biased, but I would have loved to see her in the top 10 as well. And this will go, I don't know, 6 minutes worth of video that if you've seen it before, great. If not, don't spoil the surprise for everybody. I think she wins.
Working in some of the poorest areas of my country, I found that it was a lack of child support, not poverty, that killed their dreams. A child once told me, "Kat, that's just not my life, and those dreams aren't meant for me." But I stand here today because someone believed in me, and we owe it to our children to believe in them. Kapong ka.
Still in the running is Philippines.
And it's just around the corner. I'll be right there next to you. Once
I started music, it just was fulfilling in a way that everything else wasn't. My mom told me that even when I was in the womb, like I was dancing along to music. I'm an only child, very, very close to my parents, especially my dad. He would always say the longest journey starts with a single step. When you have a dream or an ambition and it's so far away and it's so high up, you can feel overwhelmed. But when you look at it as just one step at a time, one day you're gonna look up from your feet and you'll be at your destination. So that's a piece of advice from my dad that I feel I'm gonna apply my whole life.
Philippines.
Oh, wow, a slow-mo turn. And then she goes on into giving us that great face, that great attitude. She's killing the game here.
Welcome back. I'm backstage here with Philippines, and there's so much going on right now. So what's the number one thing on your mind right now?
I just want to go out there and be my best, and I can feel my country right behind me, so I'm so honored to be in the top 10.
I'm rooting for you too, so good luck.
Philippines
has so much riding on this, and of course, a crowd favorite. Now that dress is quite daring and different. I love the color. I love her smile. She has a sultry, sultry walk.
How are you?
I'm good, Steve. I can't believe it's top 5 already.
Well, it's here. Here's your question. Canada recently joined Uruguay as the second nation in the world to make marijuana legal. What is your opinion on the legalization of marijuana?
I'm for it being used in a medical use, but not so for recreational use. Because I think if people were to argue, what about alcohol and cigarettes? Well, everything is good, but in moderation. Thank you.
Thank you, Philippines. The Miss Universe crown is Philippines.
Yeah, I don't know what
is the
to
most
audio there
important
as
lesson
well.
you've learned in your life, and how would you apply it to your time as Miss Universe?
I work a lot in the slums of Tondo, Manila, and the life there is it's poor and it's very sad. And I've always taught myself to look for the beauty in it, to look in the beauty in the faces of the children, and to be grateful. And I would bring this aspect as a Miss Universe to see situations with a silver lining and to assess where I could give something, where I could provide something as a spokesperson. And this, I think, if I could teach also people to be grateful, we could have an amazing world where negativity could not grow and foster, and children would have a smile on their face. Thank you.
Yeah, the camera for sure loves her, and that does nothing for folks that are listening on the radio, so I think I'm going to leave that love piece there. Catriona Gray, the 2018 Miss Universe from the Philippines, but certainly, if based on the comments that I've seen and heard on Facebook and other places, I think she's been adopted by a bunch of people around here. What do you want me to go to? Well, you can just turn it up. You can just...
Fulfill her duties. The first runner-up will
the crowning
take her
moment,
place.
right?
Good luck to you both.
Oh, it's between the two of them. It's Ariana Grande and Miss Philippines. It looks like Ariana Grande. All right.
The new Miss Universe is
Michael Knight.
Philippines.
That is something, isn't it? I'm not the biggest guy on pageants, but I get the gravity of the particular moments, and like I said, in this case here, I think it's just interesting because from around these parts, the Asia Hood, we got rep in here, and everybody likes that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think just because it hits close to home. Yeah, but I'm like you. I've never really been a pageant guy, but hey, good luck and congratulations.
Well, there was a once upon a time in my life I was emceeing pageants. violence and things like that. But I just kind of maybe not. Not so. It's not where I want to be for the rest of my life and my career. And it was just it felt a little bit stuffy. I'm not I'll wear a suit, but I don't like to wear a suit. So it always feels like the suit is wearing me, and I don't know. It's very kind of roughly, and my preference. I'll go to a pageant because I can sit in the audience and drink beer.
Oh, of course.
But and then there's the politics of the pageant. So there's some of the stuff that goes on backstage, organizers, things like that. It's just not that big of a deal for me. 9:56 and change, and the program continues here this morning. And some of the things that I thought were interesting. You might hear more of this when it gets to be time for Bob Klitsky and Tall Tales this afternoon. I don't know if I were to use the same kind of format as Bob does when he does the show, where you've got so-and-so versus such and such, the match card, right? Taking a look at the card. For me, the card would not necessarily be people. It would be pages, as in pages of the Guam Daily Post, where we've got the governor in his exit interview with the media yesterday, including Kevin Kerrigan and folks from the Guam Daily Post, talking about the fiscal crisis. And it says here, no fiscal crisis. Despite declaring a fiscal crisis at the start of the year, the governor now believes Guam is no longer facing a crisis. But we closed police precincts. We closed the swimming pool in Dededo, even though it was already closed. We moved the police department guys from chasing down bad guys and stopping drunk drivers, and they moved them over to the Department of Corrections.
And like you mentioned yesterday, that whole thing always kind of confused me, although I stay quiet because I'm the dumb one in the room. But how were they saving money that way? Made no sense.
Right, because they were still paying the guys.
They
were saving money on overtime over at the Department of Corrections, but as soon as the police department left them, then the overtime went, as far as I know, right back to where it was before. So what permanently changed there? What were we trying to step on the gas for? And it's expensive payroll too. I mean, overtime is overtime.
Yeah, but it seems like overtime applies to the person, so you can't just move. You can't move a guy over in the middle of a 30-hour week and then make him work 30 more hours and not pay him the overtime. It just makes no sense.
So the GovGuam is no longer facing a fiscal crisis. Now that's page 4 versus page 5, where among the other measures that passed over at the legislature were Senator Addis' Bill 374, which adds the words "or more" to the current budget law in order to avoid a potential $8 million loss in revenue. Now, the people that voted against it, Senator Dennis Rodriguez, thank you. Will Castro, thank you. Uggan, Esteves, Morrison, and Regine Biscoli, thank you very much for voting no on this, because your no vote gives me some idea that there is some semblance of people that are paying attention out there. The deal is the governor says there's no fiscal crisis, then we don't need this additional tax on what is arguably going to be a number of businesses that will have to find from their customers that tax money. And in some of the cases, it's going to be businesses that are renting from real estate guys, and it's also possible that there are Government of Guam agencies in buildings and lands that have been improved to $1 million or more, and that means Government of Guam is going to pay more, essentially going to be paying that tax, and it's a circle blank, if you know what I mean. What, already? 10 o'clock in the morning. We're KUSG. I got you. I got to go. But you stay here. Listen to some of the right-wing bomb throwers and Bob Klitsky at 4. Right now, Fox News Live.
Fox News. White House officials meeting with lawmakers in an effort to avoid a government shutdown by the Friday deadline.
It's beginning to look like the White House's hard line on a border wall may not be so hard after all. Out there already is a proposal for a continuing resolution that would keep the government funded through the end of fiscal year 19. That's September 30th of 2019, that would provide $1.6 billion for about 65 miles of border fence through the Rio Grande sector of the southern border. That is one of the most active areas when it comes to cross-border